Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla. All right. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. You are watching The Faith Factor, and this is going to be, let me just go ahead and put this disclaimer out there because people like to get into their feelings. Let me just go through the history real quick before people get all up into their feelings. Faith been on this on YouTube and many different other online platforms for a number of years, going on a decade, okay? And in the time that I've been on this platform, I have been critiqued. Okay, people have done all out hit pieces on me. Let's see. Nobody ever called me up to tell me that they gonna do a critique on Faith. Nobody ever let me know when they gonna do a hit piece. Okay. I just wake up in the morning and somebody might send me an email or call me on the phone and say, hey, they talking about you. And every single time, I had to take that shit on the chin. Faith had to take that shit on the chin, y'all. Many times, I never did a response to any of the people who had critiqued me or done hit pieces on me. Now, one time, a few times I've gone on panels and been pretty much ambushed. Okay, had to take it on the chin. So, Faith don't really do hit pieces. I will critique other content creators, but I don't go out and do all out hit pieces on people. That ain't my style. But if I see something that I feel needs to, need a little bit of attention and I want to talk about it, God damn it, I'm going to do just that. And if I ain't got your number, if I ain't got your email, or even if I do got your number and I do got your email, I don't need nobody's permission because ain't nobody my mammy or daddy on this motherfucker. Last time I checked, my Comcast bill said what my name is. Last time I checked, when my internet bill comes out, it come out my checking account. Last time I checked, correct me if I'm wrong. Do any of you all get any money from any of these motherfuckers on here when you all pay y'all's internet bill? Because that's whoever paying your internet bill, that's who you need to check with. Last time I checked, when I got a notification on my phone that my phone bill got paid, none of these people telling me who I'm supposed to check with and who I ain't supposed to check with paid it. I don't recall nobody paying nothing up in here but me. So when I decide, I see something that's interesting and I want to speak on it, I decide for myself that I'm going to speak on it and I don't need nobody permission. Now, if I feel like paying you a courtesy, I might send an email or something like that. But if it's something that I hear about on the fly and I just on the fly decide to do something, guess who gonna do it? And guess who ain't gotta ask nobody goddamn permission? Not I. So the first thing I want to do before I get into the whole Cynthia G thing, because I know that's what you all want to talk about, and I'm going to get deep into that because it seems as if Cynthia G might have, and all this is alleged because she ain't came out and said that she went out with no white dude. I just want to point that out. This could very well be some white dude going on to his social media platform to clout chase and use Cynthia's name so that he can get a few little clicks and views. So we don't even know if she actually really did go on a date with this white boy. Okay, so I just want to put out some disclaimers because, see, I don't do hit pieces over here, but we will have conversations. And I don't need nobody permission either. So back to the whole permission piece about calling and giving heads up and all this other stuff. So Mahogany Roots has a very good channel. She did a Monday Rumble. BMT was up there. Super Sly was up there. OG showed up. Mother Earth, quite a few other people showed up to the stream. And I found it quite interesting that, you know, everybody was talking about BMT's involvement with the white guy. I don't even want to say his name because I don't want anybody traveling over to his channel and giving him any more clout and attention than he deserves, because he deserves nada. But he's a racist. And a few days back, CK and I did a stream critiquing BMT because BMT is one of the people who is known for giving this guy a platform in this space. Most people know this guy from BMT's platform. So CK and I did a mild critique on the situation, and we both came to the conclusion that people need to vet others before giving them a platform to speak in this space. And I still stand on that. And I did not have to get anybody's permission to do the video. Didn't have to give nobody's a head up on the video because it was not a hit piece against BMT. The video mostly talked about the Black community allowing people to the cookout without vetting. And we talked heavily about vetting these people before we just allow them to come and travel in these spaces. And we do have to take personal responsibility if we fail to do so. The same way I have to take personal responsibility for things that I do on here, and people have critiqued me and did all out hit pieces. And if they were found to be correct, I had to take that L. I had to take that L. So if I got to take it on the chin, hey, guess what? We all grown around this bitch. We all grown. So now the question is, if you do a critique on another content creator, and this is for all the content creators out here, do you call them up before you do the critique on them and let them know that you're doing the critique? And what is the difference between a critique and an all-out hit piece? Because we're going to get deep into it before we get into the Cynthia G stuff. The Cynthia G stuff, this is Penny Annie. I think dude was clout chasing personally, but we're going to talk about that. Your favorite persuasion says, what about BMT? Y'all used to go on each other's panel. Yes, and I still go over there and support BMT's channel. I have nothing against BMT. There is nothing to see here. A critique is a critique. So nobody's beefing. The same way that he fired up his video right after I did my critique. I have nothing to say about his opinion about people, you know, having an opinion about him. It is what it is. And the same way that I opened my mouth and had an opinion, he can open his mouth and have one too. So nobody's beefing. But the difference between a critique, you can critique a person's work. You can even critique a person and how they go about doing their work. There's a difference between saying, hey, you know what? This is what this person did wrong. This is what I would have done, or this is how it should be done going forward. There's nothing wrong with that. As a matter of fact, I welcome people telling me, I've had people come into my comment section and they say, hey, girl, get a real mic. So I went out and bought this. I've had people critique me before. I've had people tell me, Faith, your hair looks bad when you go online. Do something about your hair. I've had people do that too. And before I start bringing people on, I just want to go into my little spiel. So if you're in the back, please know that I do see you, but I'm going to go through my spiel and then bring people up. That's a critique. And some people weren't very nice. Some people did all out hit pieces about my looks. So it went from being a critique to being an all out hit piece. And I had to take that shit on the chin. But I still took the criticism and made changes. Sometimes you have to know when something is constructive and when it's not constructive. Mm-hmm. I remember in Cremature, Terry, when I used to drive in my truck. Thing about it is, when you're doing any type of work and you put yourself out there on an online platform, you do open yourself up to be critiqued. You even open yourself up to have whole pieces done on you. There's nothing that you can do. Nobody is nice. All right, sorry about that, y'all. I went out for a second. Can you guys hear me? Can you hear me and still see me now? All right, so like I was saying, I had so much hit pieces done out on me and people not call me, and there were people that had my number. But I had to take that shit on the chin. So there's a difference between somebody giving you constructive criticism and doing a hit piece. The hit pieces hurt. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna walk around here like I'm unbothered. When people used to do those hit pieces on me, that shit hurt my soul. But I had to take that shit on the chin because I'm a public, figure. When I put myself out here, I put myself out here to be criticized. Everything I do is being watched. When I got arrested, when me and my daughter got into our domestic battle in my house and I got arrested, people critiqued me for that and they did all out hit pieces on me for that. Had to take that shit on the chin. Had to take that shit on the chin. I couldn't get mad. Only thing I could do was go on here and tell my side of the story, and I left it at that. I can't get mad at these people for saying what they got to say because that's their platform. Can't tell them what to do on their platform. Everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody. Oh, yeah, in Cremature, yeah. I got arrested. My daughter moved in when COVID first started. And, in closed spaces, lots of people had her hubby with her and my grandson and all this type of stuff. And people were being disrespectful in my household and they tried to play me for a punk and jumped in my face. And, hey, people, jump up to get beat down. And when the police get called, they're not going to arrest the person that lost the fight, unfortunately, even though it was my house. So she jumped up. I beat her down. I won. I had to go to jail. Simple as that. I took it. I had to take my lumps. It is what it is. But I'm just going to say this. I want to ask the question because this is a really good question. I want to pose this. Should we be giving permission or asking permission or giving heads up? Give a head up. Should we be giving a head up as content creators before we critique other content creators? And so I have in the back Mr. Chaos Rain. What's going on, Chaos? And it's saying,
hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay, good. Yes, damn, Faith. The internet is just a wonderful place for a lot of things, a lot of revealing, a lot of exposure. It's amazing. It's just, can you believe it all? You know what I'm saying? I never was expecting. I think me and the Great Liberator should look at this more tonight, possibly. I'm not sure what to say. I've heard about it. Look into it now. And this is my thing. For those for the future that has foresight and don't understand how this thing works, how the game works. If anybody's gonna put anything of your business, I would say no. You should not be trying to put yourself out there to the point where you had to give it attention. That's my check. If you move in the way you do as a person, man or woman, and say one thing and do some opposite, and someone calls you out on it in person, you want to not bring attention more than it is. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things. Why? Because let people speculate. Let them think on it. You know what I'm saying? Because they're going to either accept you, mess with you, or keep it pushing. You get me? Mm-hmm. To sit there, bring this attention on yourself, and not only that, but on your own posts. Now, I had to draw red flags to that, Because let's be honest. If you're creating channels and you change your message just to draw a new crowd of people from an old channel to you just to get some revenue, because we all here to make money, hopefully, you know what I'm saying? Then you want to keep it at that. Anything that's in your closet or skeletons, whatever you want to call it, you want to keep it as close as possible. That's my check, you know what I'm saying? And you don't want to give it no attention, you know what I'm saying? I remember I learned this from Phil, from Vice Show. He did said this, that he made and grew his channel of people talking about him. And he had to pay no advertisement. But you talk about this particular character, and I'm using code language right now because I want people to really follow me here, that you should not be drawing attention. Now, if this happens, okay. All right, keep pushing. People will take your message as it's, regardless, they're going to still rock with you. But now when you bring it to attention to people that already don't either like your content or like you as character, now it makes speculation to say, you just said it, but now it's being truthful. And now we have to look at this character to what he said, more than just satire or jokes. You get me? That's how I look at it critically. Because if I'm going to say and do a message, let's say attacking black people, you know what I'm saying? But I go around and deal with the enemy and resolve my problems to him. Now there's something wrong here. You get me?
Right.
I should be, if I'm going to push a narrative message, I keep it as is. And if anybody that knows, let's say myself in person or whatever, I keep that to myself. I don't give it more attention. But a lot of people that do content, they do this. Now, I'm not sure if this is called damage control. If you want to use that, that's not very critical damage control at the end of the day. So I get it. But my thing is this. if you're smart and people using foresight, you should already know that already. You get me? But like I said, people not really using the foresight and thinking really critically in the long term. You get me? So that's why I don't really deal with the promotion of certain people. I'm saying if they do things like this.
But let me ask you, Chaos, do you, if you were getting ready to fire up a live stream, say about
Mhm.
me, okay,
Okay.
you saw something that I did and you saw that it was off code. Would you
Mhm.
call me? Would you send me an email? Would you tell me first?
Like, you mean off code? Like if you do some totally opposite, right? And I catch you, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I do my response, not just an upload, but like a video, you know?
Right.
Um, it depends on the off code. Now, if it's something that's talking about our people, you know what I'm saying? Like so total contradiction, and it's real evident, depending on the severity, I might. I say I might, because I don't do this, but I might. Just for sake of conversation. But overall, you know, when people do one thing and do some others and say, and someone else see you doing other, and they say, "What about this? What do you feel about this person?" That I'll look at it and say, it's not something that I will invest time, energy, depending if the person starts to bring attention. Now, if they bring attention to it, then now I have to look into it. You get me? Because, like I said, you don't want to bring some mess in your channel because you know how we move as Black people. We move very messy. We use propaganda, to be honest with you, on each other. We don't do it in
You
regards
do. You
to
do.
the system that fires constantly through their media outlets propaganda towards Black men and Black women. You get me? And the enemy knows this, so he said, use the propaganda towards yourself. Never use it towards me. Because if you do that, not only I will ban you, I will stop funding you. You get me? Because people are very receptive to when someone's giving them money. They will give you what you need to hear or know. But imagine when the check stops pushing. What people do, like in natural nature, they gotta do something to keep that revenue going. So I gotta get some to be put back in their blessing, their grace.
Okay.
That's
Well, Chaos Friend, I do
right.
have to get
Right.
over to the next person, but AP from the Bronx says she would either text or email. She would give a heads up. So AP from the Bronx is for giving a heads up. But I do want to welcome Dez onto the panel. I have never seen Dez before. Welcome, brother. Where are you from? Oh, Dez is gone.
No, he fixed his mic. Now I know
Oh,
people might not hear because I'm using code because I don't want to give this more attention. Is I wasn't really going to come up here, Faith, but when I saw it pop on my feed, I was let me listen in because I've listened to the man. I'd stopped at the 2-minute mark after 14 minutes of it, and I thought it was like some joke thing at first, but I know some prominent content creators covered it. Then I heard the audio of it. Then I found the man's channel. Do you see where I'm going? You giving
That's what
something.
that's what I'm talking about. Like
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
if you were able to go to his channel and you were
Mhm.
able to make a discernment that this guy is racist, then
Mhm.
how come other people that had been promoting this guy didn't know that this guy was racist? Because when I saw this guy at BMT's channel, I
Yes.
immediately went to that guy's channel and I looked at his videos and I knew immediately this guy is racist. I went to the channels that this guy visited and I knew immediately, damn, this is not something I would bring into my space. So the whole thing I was getting at was vetting. Like
Mhm.
not just for you endorse somebody to say this person can come and speak us on I was saying because it was really apparent to me that this guy was racist.
Yeah. And my thing is this: you did your investigation, correct, Faye?
Yes,
Man. Now, mind you, how many people you know that's watching or consuming content go out the way to investigate the people that they see on a panel that like what they talk
but
about?
if you're a content creator and you're collaborating with other content
Mhm.
creators, you investigate other content creators. Before Community started together, investigated each other on my content, and I went down his. That's what content creators do. Now, regular viewers won't about content creators. Oh, somebody said I'm boring.
Yeah, I was adjusting my internet just brief to make sure it's not me. But if they say you're Borging, then you are Borging.
Hey, hold on a second. I'm gonna
Anybody in the chat room is Shay. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead and take it over. I'm gonna have to remove myself and come back in.
All right, as it go back, please like the stream, share the stream. You know, this is the fate factor, the factor of a lot of things, as you know. You know, as I know a cast right here. Anyway, let me check the comments. Let someone else stick up for the church people when babies drop Pacific. Okay, I like and I agree, but know what he's talking about. Okay, it's going up. I meant I was 2 a.m., but still. Monica, you must be in a tight, but they don't have to rest you for that though. Yeah, the chat room is very interesting. Look at it. But I hope it's not serious issue with the internet, because you know how certain StreamYards with the internet is very weird, and it also is weird when you're doing it on a cell phone. I hope people never know when you do it on a phone, it becomes even more problematic. I never paid in the service because I don't trust their streaming properly. Now, other outlets, they don't give these issues with the audio and the quality of sound, but for some reason, they promote StreamYard because they say it's the best form of streaming. I disagree, to be fair, honest. And I'm not saying I don't have the money to pay for it, but from what I'm experiencing and knowing about it, that if you're going to be spending more than $50 a month using the service, the issues with the bugs and the board game and wherever the issue that StreamYard presents should be resolved. How you doing, AP? Yeah. I was thinking me and the Great Liberator might talk about this and some more things. Do y'all agree? Me and him should do this later today. It's optional. I'm thinking that I was going to leave it alone, but now that Miss Fav is talking about it and many more countries are going to be talking about it, maybe I should look into it. I don't know if y'all want to agree or disagree. Press 1. And the reason why I'm asking y'all is because this is supposed to make money. Everything what we're doing so far is to make something out of this. There's no such thing as freeness. YouTube is, quote unquote, say free, but it's not. And people that do the content, they do take the time and energy. This is a lot of work. I'm telling y'all right now, doing these content on YouTube, whether the uploads or the live streams, this takes a lot of work out of the day and time for most people. And people don't appreciate when people put, okay, she back. Go ahead.
All right. I had to reboot my internet. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah. Oh, and to AP, look into the subject that Faye put in the description of the show. I was looking into doing later tonight with me and the Great Liberator. I was not going to really touch this because I was hearing about it and I was sitting back and to see what is going to progress. And now that hearing from, the person that posts in our community tab about this so-called Caucasoid, I'm saying maybe it's now something to examine. Because usually if this guy was joking, getting some views, okay. Well, I sit there and listen to the whole conversation and it said, what she has said throughout the years about, going out for dates and letting them spend money and not getting nothing in return to the man, it's kind of holding up, even to the point where I've noticed that why would you be on a date and talking about black men? That I find very odd. You know what I'm saying? Do you agree, Faith?
I do agree. And actually, I wanted to play a snippet of that video because this is very problematic. And like I said, all of this is alleged. Okay, we do not know if this is true or not. Mm-hmm. But I do want everyone to listen to this guy and see if you're picking up some of the same things that I'm picking up. Because personally, I think he did it for clout. But let's go ahead and listen to this guy real quickly. I'm going to mute my mic.
YouTube, what's up? Do I got a good story for you guys today? I was watching a video of my man Jamil Peterson, Mr. I Am Comedy, and he was talking about Cynthia G and how she doesn't like black dudes, like she won't date black dudes or some shit. So I'm like, okay, that explains to me why she let me take her on a date. So I was messenger on her comments and stuff like that on her videos and shit. And for a good probably week and a half, 2 weeks, and just to see if I could get anywhere, she would answer me back, but she would never comment back. A couple days after I sent the last message, I just was like, "What's up, Miss Pretty? Yeah, I've been hollering at you. You don't ever. I don't know if you don't see it or whatever." But she hit my email up and she messaged me and said that she's seen that I've been commenting on her stuff quite a bit, and that she liked my, the way I keep trying and trying and trying. You know what I mean? So I'm like, sweet. You know what I mean? Like, she's kind of fly. She seems cool. So maybe about a week after that, we start talking, through email. Boom, boom, boom. I asked her out, man, can I take you to dinner? And she was like, yeah, you could take me to dinner. So maybe 2 weeks after that, because she said she had to get time because she was busy. So maybe 2 weeks after that, so we went out to get something to eat. So I pull up, we get in the car. She gets in the car. She's looking okay. Not as good as what I thought, but she was looking okay. I mean, it's too late now. I mean, what am I going to say now if I really didn't like her off the rip? I mean, whatever. I'm just going to deal with it. So I'm asking her where she wants to go. You know what I mean? And I don't even remember. This was a few months ago. I don't even remember the name of the restaurant. But I'm thinking, okay, maybe we're going to go to like Popeye's Chicken, or we're going to go to like maybe Outback or some shit. I'm not no famous YouTuber. I got money, but I'm not balling. And it was a weird Italian place that she wanted to go to. And she said the name of it, and I'm like, oh, I never heard of that. And she was like, yeah, she's like, it's a good spot to eat. I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking, okay, meals maybe $10, $15, $20. So we get here. As soon as I get there, man, this place is fancy as fuck. I'm like, shit. I'm thinking, like, I wanted to take this girl to McDonald's, like maybe Burger King. So people are in there. They're all dressed up all nice and shit. I got on this type of shit. I'm like, I don't think I'm dressed appropriate for this kind of establishment. She, oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. I walk in there. People are staring at me like I'm some hood booger or some shit. I'm like, oh shit. And it's funny because she was the only black girl in there. And I'm thinking, I remembered Jamil's video of him saying that she really don't like black men.
Stop. You have feedback.
Yeah, I was trying to stop it because I want to step in and say something. Now, I'm just going to say something really quickly about this guy, real quick, because it seems to me, and I'm just going to bring us back up. Mm-hmm. This guy doesn't come off as authentic to me. Mm-hmm. If he's trying to be funny, he's not funny. If he's doing a parody, he's just falling flat all the way around. Do you think that for 1 second, just do you think for 1 second that this is somebody that Cynthia would actually go out on a date with?
The only thing I would say, from what she has always been saying for years now, that she never have intercourse but take money from non-black men on very things, which, I'm not saying she's not lying, but for a post she did restate it again. So my thing is, the biggest issue, like I said before, when you start bringing this attention, it's a problem. You get me? Usually let certain things decide if this dude's joking and say, no one even knows who this is. Cause I look at his channel. 123 subscribers. Maybe he's real, lying, or telling truth. Okay, nothing. But when you start bringing attention as a content creator, it's become a problem. You get me? A lot of people say they're gonna believe everything. Hell,
But that's
that.
not what I'm asking. Do you think that she would actually go on a date with this particular guy?
To be honest with you,
I mean, look at him.
I know I look at him. I do look at him. Yeah. But nothing surprised me nowadays because I look at how he moves. And I say he's like the self-reflection of another content creator, which I'm not gonna name. That it looks a little consistent, Now, if this dude was like upstanding, I would say more believable. But when I look at this dude, say, it wouldn't be surprising. So I would say, in my opinion, from how I'm looking at this dude, now seeing him who he looks like, I say that does seem a little consistent. Yeah.
So,
just me. Now,
okay. Well, with chaos now, I'm gonna play devil's advocate for a second. Okay, now we do know that she was in a relationship with, well, not a relationship. We don't know if she was in a relationship or not, but she had some dealings with Robert Perkins.
Yeah, that's been talked about. We're not gonna go back to that. We're not.
Okay, so we only have him to compare this white dude to, for who we knew that she messed with before.
Did he say what state he's from? Did he ever state the state he's from?
I didn't look into. I know that they said where Robert Perkins was from.
No, not Robert Perkins. This white boy. Where he's
from? Oh, this white boy. I believe they said that he was somewhere over there in Seattle, but I don't think that Cynthia is even in Seattle right now. I honestly don't believe this guy. But in comparison to Robert Perkins and this white guy with the beer belly. Robert Perkins is, pretty fit. He seems to be pretty fit. He dresses, about the same as Robert Perkins, I think. I don't see any difference between his style of dress and Robert Perkins' style of dress. He dresses like a white pookie. All things now. The Gene says Cynthia lives in the South, so
Yeah, we already know it, but we're not focused on. We're gonna focus on this man right here. We're not going.
But we gotta focus on the proximity because when did this date take place? This guy.
He said this was months. He said this was months ago. Now I will say this, Faith. Him coming out now could always be questionable. That's what I'm thinking about it. You get me? But like I said, the track record which says she does let white men spend money and things, which she's not denying. She admit that. You get me? So the way how this guy came out late as it is, it kind of feeds into what she's been saying for years now. Now, regardless how he looks, to ask me, do you think this woman right here is gonna let this white boy take him out on some dates, expensive dates? Because he said the foods were expensive, right? That he normally doesn't want to spend.
But he didn't want to take her to no expensive restaurant. According to him, he cheap.
Yeah, he's cheap, but he's still spending money. So if he want cheap, why we spend the money? You get me? That's my thinking. If you're a cheap dude and you said I wanted to go to a fancy or just an Italian restaurant, right? This is how we think. Why I want to go spend money and I'm cheap? I would say no. We'll go here. You get me? To sit and say, okay, fuck it, we go there. What that tells you. I tell you one thing. I give her credit. She really pimping out some of these Caucasoids. I give her credit for that shit. And I say I have no problem with that.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and just listen to the rest of this because he has more to say. He has much more to say, much more critiques on this alleged date he went out on.
I tell you one thing, she getting that milk and them boys good.
All right, so I'm gonna go on mute. Hold on.
That's crazy, like, because we're in here and we're like, she's the only black girl in here. Now, I don't know if they're looking at her or they're fucking staring at me because of the way I'm dressed. Are they looking at her because she's black and everybody in there is white? Or is it because I'm dressed like this? It has nothing to do with race. The reason why I'm saying her because she's black is because she said she don't like black men, and when we went there, it was all white people. So I'm like, oh, what a coincidence. So we sit down and I'm open. The waiter comes over and she gets a water with lemon. Um, I get the same thing. So I'm like, cool. This is starting off good. Maybe she's going to get something off the like dollar menu or something if they have one. Um, so we open it up, and I'm looking down. I'm seeing fucking food that I've never even seen before. Like the pronunciation of these words, I couldn't even fucking say it.
Yeah,
Like
this is a hood boogie
I
right
didn't
here.
understand anything. I didn't have like the description of like what the shit was. So I'm like, holy fuck! And I'm looking, and it's saying like $60 for like some shit. I don't even know what the fuck it is. So I don't want to buy it. I want to buy it. How if I don't like the shit? I just spent $60. So like I don't give a fuck. I'm like, if she thinks I'm cheap, fuck that. I don't give a fuck. I'm a cheap motherfucker. Like we could have went to McDonald's. I could have got you a McChicken, a McFry, and if you're lucky, maybe a plain sundae, not one with nuts, no caramel. They're like $1 something. I was trying to stick to the dollar. Like I didn't want to spend no more than like $15, $20 on her. So I'm looking. The dish is $60. I think the cheapest one I seen was like $34.99, which wasn't bad, but I think it was like soup or some shit. I'm like $34.99 for the fucking soup. Shit, I can go to the store and get some fucking chicken noodle soup for a fucking couple bucks. So I'm like, okay, I'm looking for the cheapest shit. So I'm like, just give me the fucking soup. It was like, I don't know what was in it. It was like broth and fucking. It came with like a piece of bread. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll eat this. I mean, it wasn't a real big portion. It was like a yay big, so deep. I mean, for $34.99, I'm thinking I'm getting a whole motherfucking pan. You know what I mean? So she orders her food, and I don't know what the fuck her shit came in like. She got like it wasn't spaghetti, it was like some Italian pasta that I'd never even fucking seen before, and this shit was like $72. I'm like, holy fuck! I'm like, are you gonna take like? Don't leave that shit here. Like, you better eat all that shit. And she was like, oh, it's not even that big. I come here, every once in a while. So she orders it. So we're talking, we're waiting for her food. And like the first thing I noticed is her motherfucking eyebrows. Like, I'm just staring at them motherfuckers like, holy shit. They don't even match. Them motherfuckers were like cousins. Like, they weren't even fucking sisters. Like, they weren't twin sisters or nothing. They were motherfucking cousins. Like, one up here, one hanging a little bit lower than the other one. And the edge was off a little bit where you could, like, okay, you must have, like, mis-stenciled your shit or some shit because that shit like it got a point right in the corner. But I didn't say nothing and shit. I was letting that shit ride, but I was trying to hold it in not to laugh.
This is crazy, man.
But the whole time, like, she is talking about, like, black men. Why she don't like black guys? Black guys this, black guy that, black guy this, black guy that. And I'm thinking, okay, this is gonna be good for me for like the first 2 minutes they're talking about it. Oh, I'm a white guy. You don't like black dudes? I ain't gotta worry about them now. So they're out of the way, so I ain't gotta worry about you taking off from me to go with them. You know what I mean?
Damn,
so I'm like,
man.
shit.
The confidence
I'm in here.
is real.
I just gotta worry about
Pause
the
this,
white
Faith.
guys get
Pause
the
this.
Chinese.
And we have a lady on the panel, Miss Princess. Do you have a lot of diamonds, Miss Princess?
If you give me one, I will have one.
You'll get a nice 13 karat gold diamond. I mean, a diamond. 13. Yeah.
This dude sounds fake as I don't know what. Oh, you trying to say something, Faith?
Oh, I said, welcome to the stream, Diamond Princess. I'm sorry, I have to mute my mic whenever I'm playing something. I was trying to welcome you in. But
thank you.
do you believe this guy?
Yes and no. I don't think
Keep it real.
G.
Thank you.
I don't think Cynthia G will go on a tangent talking about black men. However, I'm gonna agree with Chaos Rain on this one because I did hear Cynthia G did state that she has dated white men, but she has not slept with them. Like she has stated that
allegedly, but we're not gonna go.
Well, allegedly.
Yeah.
And so she stated that these white guys she had dated, they brought her weaves, her and her sister's weaves, and and other things, and she didn't have to sleep with them. So for what I'm getting from
Mhm.
this man, I want to I can't say that is true, but Cynthia G did state that she allegedly did date white guys in the past. But
Mhm.
this is just another example of a Dusty. Want to cheap a woman, but as soon as he went in that restaurant, he didn't want to spend any money. He's saying
Mhm.
that he has money. He said he's not rich, but he has money. But you don't want to spend money on a woman? Do you even work? Like, how are you getting? You say you have money. How are you getting it? Like,
But I mean,
you
look
don't.
at this guy. I mean, again, come on, y'all.
But
Does
but
it look
Yeah.
like he got money?
but
Really?
let's be honest. That using men for dinner dates. I've been hearing about this. Sometime you heard about this, Faye, and I never think rationally, but it is going out here. But my thing is this: okay, the guy was said, "I don't want to spend this much money," but you did. So it tells me she did something right to get you to pull out that wallet to spend that money. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Right.
regardless, at the end of it, which he's this at the end, which I want you to play more to this fate, that telling saying, you just got played, my dude. Thomas say, well, I just spent all this money. I don't
Well,
want.
he have to whip out that wallet for money to get pussy. Like, how
I
are
mean,
you
you
supposed to
got to
get?
spend something. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
no one see you spend a whole lot of money. Now,
Yeah.
people say how much should be for a regular date. I don't know. It depends on the mood, the vibe. But you should not break your bank. But don't sit and say you're gonna go in there
Hmm.
and spend $15. That's like going to fucking what's some $15? I don't know what's some $15 nowadays. To say for
Uh,
if
well,
it's a conversation or you just want some, just
that's
keep it.
like a Happy Meal nowadays, like for
Yeah,
15 bucks.
yeah. I mean, I don't
Right.
know,
So
man.
I mean, this guy is talking about he didn't even want to spend. What did he say? He didn't want to spend more than 15 $16 on
$15.
her.
No, fifteen
Yeah.
dollars. That means you want to go to straight to what they call Popeyes or one of them places. And I said,
Hmm.
okay, you just sit
But
down.
it goes, but he's still gonna have to spend money because between her and his meal, he probably gonna spend like at least $60 anyway. So
And
he
that's
ain't
Right.
making
So
nothing.
any
I mean,
difference.
And that's
this guy,
nothing.
while he's trying to roast Cynthia, he's actually roasting himself. He's making
But
Exactly.
but
himself to
but
be a cheapskate and a pookie, a
but
white
but, but,
pookie.
but my biggest issue, right? Because remember, you hear about saying women they do take men on dates, but I'm looking at this dude right here and say the possibility, but the way how he's going about it and explain himself, like I said, he's shooting himself on the foot. I understand that fate, but I'm thinking saying that you couldn't get a regular Caucasoid that's doing something to presentable.
I don't think she went out with this guy.
Um, to be honest with you, the way how it goes about, I would say it is just to get the food money, and he did spend the money. You get
But
me?
Cynthia, why would she need to go out with him if she got her own money?
Right.
But Faye, why would listen, ladies? Don't bullshit me. Why would you want to spend your own money on a date when a man considers say I want to go out date and he spent his money? Come on,
Right.
you gonna
Well,
split
that
the
you
bill?
have a point.
You
You
gonna
have
split
a
the
point.
bill? You gonna split the bill?
Well, yeah,
Really?
I mean, I don't want to spend my
I don't
own
know one
money on
woman
a
that
date. I
says
mean,
split the bill. Unless it's my friend, I'll do that. But a woman, I normally will pay for the
but I
date.
wouldn't want to go out on a cheap date.
No, but you want a decent date. Now, a cheap date, I mean, if he just take you somewhere and then he spend money and then you eat the food, you're not gonna hear from him again. Say thank you and then keep pushing. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
Anyway, we got all things Nata Jean up here on the panel. All things Nata Jean. We're going to get more into this video, but what do you think about what you've heard so far?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, we hear win, but we can.
Okay. Yeah, you know what the thing is that we know this is fake. Come on now. Cynthia G will not even touch this kind of guy. This guy is really out here trying to clout chase and he knows that, we're gonna make videos on it and he's gonna get his sub count up. So, he's pretty much going along with the whole, anti-black women banter, and the dudes are actually the manosphere guys like the O'Shea's are actually feeding into this, and that's just what it is. And we're giving him all this attention. This is what he wants. Come on now, y'all know Cynthia G is not she's not low bottom tier like this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she does not
I
strike
would
me
say
as bottom
this. I would
tier
say
at
this.
all.
I would say this. If you need money from certain men, non-men of color, you would do something like this. Now, regardless, will she give up the goods? Hell no. on the average. If you
But
look at
Cynthia G, I mean, but
but
Cynthia
no,
G doesn't.
listen. So I will say to take money and support this Caucasoid, because like he said he wanted to pay a cheap date, but he didn't pay no cheap date at all. He had to spend his money. So I tell say, yeah, that will make more sense because you take money, resource out of these dudes. Like I said, they don't want to spend money on a date. Oh, you will with certain women. You talk about say you want to spend $15, she tell you no, we're gonna go here, and you go ahead. You're not being no cheap. You get me? That's the control, and that's what I like. Say you take everything out this motherfucker. You get me? And he oblige. Now, if we want to go deep, say will he interact and have intercourse? No, because first of all,
Well, he does get into it. He gets into that. He gets into that later on in the video. So I don't want to
he
get
did say it. Yeah, he did say that. But let me stop. I want y'all to play more of this to hear more of this.
All right, so I'm going to go back and play more. I'm going to put myself on mute, but you guys pay attention to all the details and you all be the judges because to me, I don't think so, but you all be the judge. Hold on.
Puerto Ricans, like, I'm good. That's a whole fucking shit ton of people I ain't gonna worry about. So we're just talking this shit and like, man, like the shit she was saying about black people, man, it was crazy. Like she thinks all black men are the same. And I'm thinking like, bitch, like most of my friends are black. The dudes that I know ain't like that. Like she's saying how like all they do is cheat and they smell. I'm like, what? Like, okay, maybe if you're sweating, you might smell a little bit, but that's everybody. So we're just talking, and she's just on and on and on about that. That's all we really fucking talked about was black dudes, black dudes, black dudes. Like, can we talk about something else? Can we talk about like Power or like motherfucking the new Halloween movie or some shit that's coming out in a couple months? Like, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about like maybe after this, I'm not taking you for fucking dessert. You ain't even getting no motherfucking dessert. All expensive that motherfucker was, right? That pasta you got, shit. I'm not paying no more. Like you just got your dinner for this date, the next date, and the date after that. If it came to that, I'm not buying you nothing else. You ain't getting shit from me, lady. No fucking way. $72 for a motherfucking plate of motherfucking whatever the fuck it was, some sort of pasta. So the waiter comes, drops her stuff off. We're eating and eating and eating. The way she eats, like chew with your motherfucking mouth closed. Like the bitch was so loud chewing. I'm thinking, holy fuck! Like they could hear her like all the way across the fucking room. Like your lips ain't that big. And the way she like huffed it down like normal people. Look, I got food right here. You know what I mean? Some potatoes and gravy or hamburger gravy and stuff. Like, you don't know people. You know, good. This bitch is holding her shit like this. Hold on. No, we hold our forks like this. This bitch is holding her shit like this. Boom. 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 Sauce dripping on her shit. I'm like, yo. Like, she's a whole fucking mess. I'm like, you need a bib? I'm like, why you gotta be rude? I'm not being rude, but you're guzzling shit like a motherfucking, I don't even know what you want to call it, like a one of those things that pick up fucking dirt. I don't fucking know what you call it. She's like grabbing this shit like that, stuffing it, boom, dripping down her shirt, boom, talking with her mouth full, boom, the fucking blood, yo, this is out of pocket. And like when she was done, like I'm trying to hand her a napkin. Like, yep, hey, put this, right here. You might want to, go to the bathroom, freshen yourself up a little bit. Sauce all over her fucking face, dripping off her chin. Like I'm thinking, okay, if someone's gonna drip off your chin, this shit better be white. Like you got sauce dripping off your fucking chin in a motherfucking restaurant where everybody's dressed all nice and shit. I'm dressed like this.
Okay, I can't take it anymore, y'all.
Yeah, this dude.
Yeah, you can tell. You can
Yeah,
tell he's
yeah,
lying. This don't even sound
yeah,
genuine at all. Like
yeah.
it's crazy, y'all. And I can't believe we're playing this.
Yeah, exactly. He like this dude is just, making like just making up shit. You could tell that he just thought of this on top of his head and just making shit as he goes along. Like I'm not imagining Cynthia G doing this. Like I don't like Cynthia G is not a sloppy person. I reckon she doesn't eat like that. This dude is full of it. Like he's just making up stories. Like it's just like you said, Faith, to get views. He's probably the black manosphere and trying to get views off this guy.
I think so too. And actually, I have seen and heard Cynthia before on live streams when she's eating. I remember when she was on a live stream with the lady that kind of exposed her with the sonogram thing, and they used to, go off camera to eat. And I would hear them, but it wasn't nothing like what this guy described at all.
Exactly. He just
So
Right, and
he
we
just
and
making
right,
shit
and
up.
we yeah, we see Cynthia G. She eats on camera, and she's very like neat when she does eat, So I don't
On
know what this
YouTube,
guy.
on YouTube,
Yeah, she
Yeah,
eating
or
it
yeah.
live. Yes.
on Patreon, because on YouTube she don't really.
On
You know,
YouTube, she did a
on
video yesterday. She did a
YouTube,
video
yeah.
yesterday when she was live and she was eating on camera.
I don't know.
Yeah, because I've heard what's her name? Nyla asked her a few times, "What are you eating?" She's always eating on camera, and she's nothing like what this guy is describing at all. So it's really easy to debunk this guy to be a liar.
Yeah. He never dated her. He didn't even say what city they went on a date in or what she was wearing, what she looks like. Like he doesn't go into detail. He just goes in on on his fake story or anything like that. This dude, this dude is lying.
Yeah, so before any manosphere guys take this video and go aha, they're waiting on the big aha. First of all, I don't think Cynthia is that stupid to actually go on a date with a guy that she met randomly in her chat room just because he's white. I don't think that she would be that stupid. I mean,
Exactly.
I could be wrong, but call me crazy, but I think she has more sense than that.
Well,
But
I wouldn't never doubt anything nowadays because the internet is such a vast resource now, and a lot of things surprise me nowadays. So I can sit there, raise my hand out from either content creator, male, female, what they can or won't do. Because everything surprises me nowadays. Now, if you have a track record of doing certain things, it's always evident and revealed, regardless of the character of the person. But if you keep to yourself, you rarely see anybody try to create some propaganda on the average. Now, the bigger your channel gets and the talk points, then yeah, it's a possibility. But like I said, if you carry yourself, move a certain way, something like this won't rarely exist. Like if you move a certain
but
way,
he
if you move a certain way, Fave, and you create reputation, yeah, I could see that happening to you. But if you move very in silence and move very normal, and you don't want to deal with nobody or not beefs, you don't have to worry about that. You get me? Because think about it.
but he
Yeah.
You have to
but
create
here's the
something.
thing.
You have to create something just to get an outcome. You
Go
get me?
go ahead,
Yeah.
Diamond Princess.
But did he ever mention of where she lived? Because he doesn't say where she lives in an apartment or a house, or describe the neighborhood she lives in. He doesn't go into that. I just wanted to throw that out there
You
because
know,
those are
it's
the kind of points that he does not bring up.
it's interesting to mention that because he said this was months ago, so I'm not sure if she was traveling at the time. So in regards to more
Well,
detail,
I do
uh,
think that she does
okay.
have family back in Seattle, so it's not uncommon for people to travel back to their place, their city where they live if they have family there. So she might have been there visiting someone. Who knows how he met
Hmm.
her? But if this allegedly was a real date, because I don't believe she went out with him for 1 second. I just don't.
No,
But
I
why
don't
the
think so either.
topic is because some other Manosphere guys, O'Shea has put out a video about it, and they're running with this, and
Oh,
And
as
you
they're
if
know,
it is
fools.
true.
They stupid.
my thing is this, because the response was done with O'Shea, because he is one of the third, the master. I might get it, But we all know O'Shea with his own platform because he deals with celebrity junk. I mean, he looks into things. You get me? And when I heard his response to that, you know what I'm saying, there's certain things that with content we should be doing, improving the tech and all stuff. I agree from that section. But regardless, when you talk about this caucus, I mean, it is somewhat because his audience, it can be reflective and it could have more of a push because of who he has and what he could bring. So I could see why maybe it makes sense to do some rebuttal. Well, like I said, a man that has like 136 subscribers and he said he did this months ago and now revealing that, I mean, it could go either way. But my thing overall is I don't give no more attention to attention need to be given. You know what I'm saying? I mean, when I look at, say, the story itself, I mean, I look at him say, it's hard for me to believe that she would invest time just to say, I agree going to state. But when you talk about the money you expend, I say, it kind of ties in. So at the end of the day, anytime somebody's going to come out with anything and he's small, let these so-called content creators that have issue, let him have it. But until this guy shows real receipts, because a lot of people in the comments have said, do you have any receipts? And he said he does. I say, well, when you have that out, come do a video in his
Well,
back.
you would think that he would have led with the receipts. He would have shown some pictures or something.
But you see, baby, you miss it. He did the video. So now he got people conversating on his comment section because somebody else posted him. So now he's going to try to now show him proof, but he already got the views. He's going to get the subscribe because we promoting this fucker. You get me? I tell you, no attention should not be given at all. Unless
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. When is the manosphere going to learn not to keep falling for shit? Because you guys remember the vegan nigger, right? When he was talking, his rant about black women and all that stuff. They donated a lot of money to him just for him to turn around to date a black woman.
Yeah, I've heard about that. Yeah, but these niggas didn't care. To be honest with you, they didn't care because as long as you're talking and push message to the women I do not like or I cannot get or whatever, then obviously they're going to give money to that. You know what I'm saying? And turn around, he shows his woman, and I guarantee they ain't had no problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee they still gave money. That's a damn fact, right?
Mm-hmm.
After they see that. So that tells you they don't give a fuck. They just want him to talk bad about black women. That's it. I'll give
exactly.
You get me, Faith? It didn't stop money after he revealed that I'm dating one of your women. It didn't stop that. So it tells you they just want to hear a man talk about it and give money. That's it. That's how.
Yeah, and Diamond and Pearls said it perfectly. Breadcrumbing for clout.
Mm-hmm.
But let me go ahead and play the rest of this video because I'm gonna get into the whole thing because there's more. There's more to what he alleges in this video. So hold on a sec.
She's the only black girl in here. And I don't know if they're staring at me because I'm dressed like this or staring at her because she's black. I have no idea. They're just fucking looking at us. When she's talking, she talk loud. Like, people behind her, shh, shh, shh. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. So she's eating it. So, where you gonna go? Where you wanna go today? You wanna go play Mr. Golf? You wanna watch a movie? No, bitch. I wanna drop you off at home. I don't even want the pussy. No more. I don't want the pussy no more. I thought I did. Not after that. That bitch is a mess. She is reckless. Food on her fucking shirt. And she was pretty nice. Dressed nice, kind of. Food, sauce, food, whatever. Didn't give a fuck. Sauce dripping off the fucking chin. It's on the fucking side of her face. And her fucking weave. Like, bitch, you need to go home and get a fucking shower. That date went left real quick. Like, I've never been on a date like that before. It's insane. But if you have a chance to date Cynthia, do not. She's expensive. You got 1 million followers on whatever, how many followers. I don't even know how many followers you got, but I know you got some shit because you get paid off YouTube. But you could have paid for my motherfucking dinner. I pulled out my food stamp card trying to pay for it. Didn't work. They don't accept food stamps there. Well, I should have knew that. Look at the place. But I tried. Maybe I thought it was a credit card. I don't fucking know. But I tried it. It didn't work. I didn't let her see that shit though. Fuck that. The way she was, shit. You got all this money. Why you pay for my motherfucking dinner? How about that? I just want to take you to McDonald's, Burger King, Popeyes, Wendy's, somewhere, KFC, somewhere. Nope. She wants to go to this fucking place. I'm gonna have to look it up and try to remember what the name of that was. Don't ever take her on a date. She's gonna take you to the most expensive fucking place. And if you don't have money like that, don't do it. I want damn near broke motherfucking taking her on a date. Just from dinner. We didn't get to do nothing else. I dropped her off right at home. Nah, bitch, you ain't getting no more of my money. You fucking hold the shit out of me. You pimp me. That's what that was. And even if you offered me the pussy, I wasn't giving it. I wasn't giving you no dick. Fuck that. You a sloppy motherfucker. Go keep it moving. You got a sister? Shit. I'll take your sister. Let me see. Maybe she's something, a little more appropriate to take on a date. Maybe she's cheaper than you are. Like, I want to take you. If I take you shopping, I'm taking you to the dollar store. That's where I want to take you, to the dollar store. I don't want to take you to motherfucking Dolce & Gabbana. I don't want to take you to Gucci. I don't want to take you to none of that place. I'll get you a necklace out of them little toy things that you put the quarter in or the dollar in, and the arm goes down and grabs the shit out. I'll get you one of those. I'll put a quarter in one of those slots at the grocery store, turn a little fucking dime and get you a fucking ring that way. I ain't fucking, you got me fucked up. I'm about my money. Like, I'll go broke fucking with you. And then what happens when I go broke? Then what? You gonna push me on the street? I don't fucking think so. Shit. But yo, if you get a chance to date Cynthia G, do not fucking do it. Don't take her on a date. Leave that shit alone. Leave it alone. Your pockets will be fucking flat. Straight flat. But yo, I wanted to share that story. Do not do it, fellas. Do not do it. Ladies, do not. I don't know. Maybe ladies, you might. I don't know. You might get treated. Not us fellas. Fuck no. Maybe she treated me like. Maybe she was treating me like she treats, her own kind. Like, what the fuck? I didn't understand it. I didn't understand it at all. But that was a bad date. Bad date. All she wants to do is talk about, black men this and black men that, and then stuff her face and eat and shit dripping all over the place. Like, no, bitch. No. You got people looking at us like we fucking cannibals, like we got our stimulus check. And that's the only reason why we came there to eat. Because we didn't belong in that motherfucker. I definitely didn't belong in there. Hell no. You should have warned me, yo, you need to dress up nice. No, I'm wearing this. How fly am I? To us, this just look okay. It's all right looking. To them motherfuckers, they're like people that play golf. Like, you can tell they're golfers, fucking real estate fucking agents, brokers. Like, there were some high-end rolling motherfuckers. And no, I'm good. Don't date Cynthia G. Fuck that.
All right, that's the video, guys.
That is crazy. You know what? I saw someone in the comments was saying that he sounds like O'Shea 2.0. And that's exactly what he sounds like. He seems like he took all of O'Shea Duke Jackson's talking points and used it in this video.
He
Yeah.
sounds so unintelligent. I swear, this dude. Like, if I were to hear him talk right now, this dude is so unintelligent. He can't even put a whole conversation together. He just had to make up, stuff to go along. Like, this dude, he doesn't have it all the way there.
And what stood out to me is that this guy is clearly racist. I doubt he has dated any black women. I seriously doubt he has dated any black women at all. He said she need to act like her own kind or something. He made
Right.
some kind of statement about her own kind. As soon
Yeah, I
as he
seen that,
said
heard that.
that, I knew that this guy is racist.
And
There's
on
no
top of that, he said that he has black friends.
Yeah, that's why he's comfortable saying the B word so much throughout the video.
You know what? I think that this is how he thinks that black women are referred to be honest with you. And that's the fault of black men because black men have gone on many media platforms referring to black women as bitches. And
Yeah,
so
true.
you have some bottom shelf brads that think it's okay for them to do so too. And they have got doing he's doing so, and they've all done so unchecked by black men.
Yeah, yeah, I agree with that because he feels so comfortable to keep using it over and over and over again. It was kind of annoying and disgusting.
But
But the way he was,
there's another black male rapper. I can't recall his name, but I was on the Honest Truths
oh yeah, we saw that.
stream last night, and he was talking about he does not like black he
You're
Yeah,
Borgian again.
You're Borging again.
oh damn.
Yeah, you're Borging again.
Oh goodness, he probably froze. That just reminds me of this one commercial. When this lady's live stream acts up. But yeah,
Yeah.
this dude sounds so unintelligent. You could tell his vocabulary isn't right. How he pronunciate things like this
I think
dude.
I
Go
think he
ahead.
just trying to. I just think he's just trying to imitate how black men speak. That's exactly
Right.
what he's doing. He's trying to. He feels like he's sounding cool, but it's coming off very, you know, slow. And it's
Right.
like what she was saying, what Faith was saying about him being racist. And it's like he's playing into the racist undertone that, black people or maybe black men are not smart and intelligent. So he's trying to mimic that type of like, character. And
Yeah, and
he
I
and he's
don't. Here's the thing. I don't like dudes that imitate a another culture like that because it's like you come off as fake. You're not
right,
genuine, and and it sounds so lame. Like, dude, why can't you just be yourself? Like, I don't like people that just can't be themselves and stop
right,
acting like a negative stereotype. That's a negative stereotype. That's probably what he thinks of black men as being unintelligent,
hmm,
ghetto,
right.
and don't have anything to offer.
Right. And if you look at O'Shea's video on this particular guy, he already has like 58,000 views on it.
Hmm.
All because Cynthia G name is in it and it's attached to a white guy, and they want to hear what he has to say and how negative he is about her because it plays into that whole thing that, oh, Brad doesn't want you either type of thing.
Yeah, that's what I was
Exactly.
going to say. Oh, is she
Exactly.
back?
Yeah, I'm back. Can you guys hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, you're
Yeah,
good now.
perfect.
Okay. Yeah, that's exactly right. I don't know who was saying what because I just got back in here. I just heard the whole that they want to just, play into this whole thing that white boys don't want you either. And that's
Right.
exactly what they want to do because Cynthia G has actual white women that have done live streams talking about their experiences with black men and how,
Hmm.
they're not all that to begin with. So it would be very, very how can I say liberating or great to them if this was a true story about this white guy going out on a date with Cynthia G. Wouldn't that
Right. And
just be
then,
great?
yeah, exactly. Because if you look at the comments on the video that O'Shea did, it's like the black guys are like all playing into it and everything. Even though some of them are on there saying that it's a parody, but for the weak-minded ones, they're all like, just yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they just all going along with it because the people that follow O'Shea are very remedial and like low vibration, and they're not intelligent at all. So
Here's the
Well,
he's
thing.
giving
here's
them
the
what they
thing.
want.
I don't dislike O'Shea. I like O'Shea. I follow a lot of his videos and his content. He's funny. He puts out some good content from time to time. I don't agree with everything that O'Shea says. Neither do I agree with Cynthia. And I also follow Cynthia as well. I am no
Uh-huh.
respecter of persons when it comes to the social media stuff. I kiss nobody's ass. If I think you're wrong,
Right.
I'm gonna say you're wrong. And if I think you're right, I'm going to say you're right.
Mm-hmm.
If you say something funny, I'm going to laugh at it. So I'm no respecter of persons on here. But as far as
Mm-hmm.
this thing with Cynthia G and this guy, this white dude, I can't see it. Just from what I've observed about Cynthia over the years, Cynthia does not come off as no cheap date. She does not come off as a dumb woman at all whatsoever. He does
Mhm.
not look like somebody that she would even look at twice. Look at that gut. I mean, when I
Right.
saw him, I was like, nah, this is not, Cynthia's thing. When I've seen Cynthia, go on and on about guys, like I've heard her say that C Boogie was attractive. Like, that would be more her thing. Robert
Mm-hmm.
Perkins, that would be more her thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
But
like
this
Rob is
this
very
fat
Rob is
sloppy,
very attractive. Yeah, he's very attractive.
yeah.
Rob is.
I can't see her with this fat sloppy white boy talking about some McDonald's and Popeyes. He thought that he was being funny and he was being
Yeah.
racist on top of everything else. And every black person should be offended by this white guy.
Right.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
these manosphere guys, they're so deep and rooted in their hatred for black women. They're probably gonna see this as, you see, black women, you see, your relationship with these white men ain't is not greener. Your grass ain't greener on the other side. BS. But if you guys look at the rate of relationship when it comes to black men, they have higher divorce rates. They don't take care of their children. It doesn't matter what race of the woman is. They don't take no accountability whatsoever. But they so worried about who you date or who you get with. It's like they're rooting to see you fail. But in
Yeah.
actuality, black women, it doesn't matter whether we marry, single, we're gonna do fine
Right.
without
Regardless.
them. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing, you can tell that they care because on the one hand, they sit up here and say, oh, bad, black men, we going where we're appreciated and all this and blah, 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 blah. The reason they don't like Cynthia G is because Cynthia G have presented white women that have told the truth about their so-called status. When they do get with black men, their status actually falls. It is not a badge of honor. And
It's
many of
not.
them have come out and said this. The mixed children that they make with these women have come out and they have told their story about their fathers and how color struck they are, and how if they get with white men, their fathers are upset that they're getting with white men to make more, just to dilute the bloodline even further, because their black fathers want their mixed daughters to worship black penis, but at the same
Mhm.
time, the mixed father does not give them anything to like about blackness because he doesn't like
Right.
his own blackness.
Here's
So
the
if
here's
Right.
you
the
if you
thing.
don't
These
like your
men,
own blackness, you're teaching this to your mixed children are not going to gravitate toward blackness.
they saying that they're trying to eliminate the black woman genetically and all that stuff. But here's the thing. It's like what Faith just said. If you don't like your own blackness, how do you expect your children to procreate with other black people? It really doesn't make any sense. Because for what I know, for when it comes to black women and their biracial children, they love their blackness. And I'm not saying this is the
Mm-hmm.
case for all black women, but for the most part, these children love the other half of them. So if they love the other half of them, of course they're going to procreate with other black people because they love who they are.
You know
So,
what? It's crazy. You know what's crazy? Like I said this before, I think that black men will start waking up. Like I think maybe in the next 10 to 15 years, because they're gonna see the NBA and the NFL change because those particular sports are going to be predominantly white males with black grandfathers. Because all the you look at somebody like Blake Griffin for an example. He's already there. He dates white women, so he's going to pretty much produce a white child. And what's going to end up happening is that he's part of a network. So he's going to pretty much, if he has a son, his son is going to be pushed into the NBA. So you're going to see a lot of this in the next 10 to 15 years if we're still around. So they're going to start recognizing it when they start affecting, the sports. Because, black men love sports.
But you know what?
Right.
It initially, when we started integrating with white people, we were not integrating so that we can, go to the white people and let them know how horrible blackness is. Initially, we were integrating so that we could, give them another side of what blackness is, because white people were of the opinion that black people were savages. So initially integrating was to show them that, hey, we are people too. We are not savages. We are hardworking people that value family and all of this. But then all of a sudden over the years, as black people, primarily black men, started running into the white race and integrating, they forgot that they were supposed to be showing the best of blackness. And when they started going over there, they started talking down on their own people and their own blackness, and they did not represent black people as a whole in a good light to other groups of people. To other groups of people, they run over there and they down us even worse than white people had already thought we were. We lost the whole idea of what integration was supposed to be about. And that is squarely on the shoulder of a lot of these black men that go out here, integrate into these cultures, made all these rap videos, and went over there and talked about how horrible black women are, and black being with a black woman is like being close to slavery or poverty. They were the ones going around here saying these things. They were the ones that couldn't keep their mouth shut.
You know what? And like you was bringing up the rappers. Like I'm a big fan of the astrophysicist. What's his name? Neil deGrasse Tyson. You know who he is?
Right. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I like him. Right. And he's married to a white woman. You can kind of tell and everything. And so one day I was watching his show. He has a YouTube channel, and it was this black girl on there, and she was like in her 20s, and she was studying to be like a like something in the scientist or whatever in the science arena. And like he was like just talking to her and everything, and I saw how he slid in a comment to her saying, "Oh yeah, you must be from the hood, the ghetto, aren't you?" Like trying to demean her, and I was shocked that he did that. So he's trying to like one up on her, like to make it seem like she wasn't like maybe good enough to be in this field or something. But it's like you see it with the rappers, of course, but I wouldn't expect that for somebody that's like him to do that kind of thing. It was just kind of disturbing that he would do that, but
yeah, that's exactly right. And what I want to welcome my sister Love Wisdom also has joined the panel, and this is another sister with a YouTube channel. She said, be going onto her channel and doing more content as far as talking about the black community, black women, and black female unity. So welcome Miss Love Wisdom to the panel. How you doing, sis?
How y'all doing? It's been a while.
It has.
Hi.
Hi. How you doing, Love Wisdom?
I'm doing good. How y'all doing?
I'm good.
Holding on.
Holding on. That's what we got to do. We got to hold on. Hold on around here.
Yeah.
So Love Wisdom, what do you think about this whole thing with us? Well, first of all, do you want to comment on anything? Because I talked about two different topics today. I talked about unrealistic expectations with this space, as far as giving a heads up before you critique, and the difference between a critique and an all-out hit piece. I don't know if you want to comment on that. And we were talking about the Cynthia G situation. So whichever one or either both, you can speak on it.
I heard a little bit about the Cynthia G situation. The gentleman is trolling. He's clearly trolling. Whether you like Cynthia G or not, she does not come across as someone who would date someone like that. This is just trolling. It kind of reminds me of, was it last year where it was this white guy, he was on a panel with a bunch of black men and he kind of talked about black women for 2 minutes. And these dudes was like, yeah, say more, say more. And
Oh
then he
yeah, I
turned
remember
around
that.
and said, well, why do black men have low IQs?
Yep, I seen
So
that. Hmm.
it's one
Yes.
of those things where, and it goes to another situation that we recently found out that there was a white content creator who kind of got outed for being a closeted racist while being in black spaces. So it's one of these things where other groups of people see how we're behaving towards each other and they start clout chasing, they take advantage of it. They're going to give you money because basically you're the entertainment. So they're going to give you money to continue to entertain the BS, the disrespect. And when these people get outed, it's like, oh my God, how could they? No, how could you? They people watch everything we say and do in this space. And some of the things that
Yep.
I've heard black men and women say, I kind of wince because it's like, look, if y'all don't want to deal with each other, by all means, the world is your oyster. You can be with anybody that you want. Nobody is holding you captive. But the disrespect for money, the disrespect for views and likes, it opens up the door for other people to come in and treat you as such. Well, if you don't care about your people, then why should I? I'm going to come in and I'm going to take advantage of this. So that's what the man was doing. He didn't go out on a date with Cynthia G. He didn't do all of these things. It was just for clout, and it's going to cause people to talk about it, and make up more lies. See, I told you the white boys don't want you either, but
Yep.
we know that's not true. We know that's not
And,
true.
and to add to what you were saying though, like I'm noticing since Kevin Samuels came on the scene, there's a lot of Arabs, particularly. I mean, not Arabs, but like men from India and like those type that area, whatever. They've created YouTube channels also. Kind of like making I mean, disparaging videos against black women, and they're using these black manosphere guys talking points and everything. And if you go to the comment sections in there, you see the black men in there cheering these Indian men on disparaging us, and it's just like weird. I'm like, y'all
Because
need them to come in and talk junk about us. You guys already have a
But
hundred
but let
black
me
men
let
on
me ask you
YouTube.
let me ask you ladies something. Do you think for one second that these Indian men, these Arab men, these Asian men, these Hispanic men would allow black men to come to their
Nope,
platforms and do the same to their women?
absolutely
not
not.
at all, not at all.
Because here's the thing. Um, how do they say it? No race can rise as higher as their men,
They're women. Uh huh.
the women. So if you treat the woman a certain way, then everybody is you're basically giving a green light for other groups of people to disrespect and make fun of your women because they see you do it.
Right.
I don't care how white men feel about their women. White men have beasts with their women. So do Asian men. But they're not going to come on a platform with billions of people on a collective level and talk bad about their women because that puts their women in danger. They need their women for their race, their nationality to thrive because women create children. So if you disrespect and discourage your women, you will eventually enable other people to cause harm to your women. So when you have these other groups of men coming in saying things about black women, black men give these men permission to do so. And when you're cheering these men on and you think these men are really your friends, yeah, they're making fun of your women, but they're also showing the world how cowardly and despicable and disgusting you are. Because ain't no man in their right mind gonna let another man talk, excuse my language, shit about his woman like that, and he not gonna check him.
Right, and it makes the men of that race look bad too if they sit around and talk junk about their women. But I guess black men do not care if their image is destroyed because it's kind of already destroyed. So just that, let's just go ahead and make money off of they don't really care, so
And
this is just what it is.
and so I just don't believe that Cynthia G, whether people like her or hate her, she's just, to me, she does not strike me as somebody that would date someone like that. As far as the space with these so-called community standards, listen, everybody is an adult. You have your own channel. You could talk about whoever you want, say whatever you want to say. Nobody's paying your bills. This is the problem that I've always had with this space. It's kind of like, because folks don't have any control of their outside life, they want to try to control people online. You can't talk to this person. You can't, hey. If your name not on my lease, your name is not on my insurance policies, you're not putting food in my refrigerator, you can't tell me shit. I can go wherever I want to go. I'm an adult. You don't owe me anything. I don't owe you anything. We're here giving content. If you like the content, you like it. If you don't, you don't. This whole thing where you can't go over there, you can't support this, you gotta come to me. Are you signing my paychecks? Are you my boss? I don't, no. We gotta cut that shit out in this space. Like, you're not lord over anybody. You come online, you talk your shit, you get caught, people gonna say stuff. You can either respond to it or leave it alone. But you don't get to tell somebody got to check in with you before you do anything. Like, we're not children, we're adults. Like,
So
this
yeah,
space with that annoys me with that.
what
It
I
really
what I don't
does.
understand, is that I don't understand why you got one woman, Cynthia G, that gets under these male skin so horribly, because it's like they have, like I said, they have like over 100. It's like so many of them that attack black women on a daily, but their feelings are so hurt over what Cynthia G has to say, and she's one person compared to
Because
how many they has. And I get that what she's saying is striking a chord with them. I understand that or whatever, but it's like, get over it. It's like, like, look at what David Carroll says. Look at what Minister Jeff says on a daily. What Kevin Samuel does. Y'all have so many content creators out there that are against black women. So I don't understand. I don't get it. It's like they just want us to just revert back to like 10 years ago, where we just was in the clouds, not saying anything, and just letting them just create pages after pages after pages, talking junk about us. And now in the recent years, you got an array of black women that are standing up for ourselves and saying we don't want any more of this. And so now they're just in their feelings, because now you see, like, for the past week or so, I've done seen so many content creators making videos about Cynthia G. It's like everything Cynthia G, Cynthia G. And at the same
Yeah,
time,
they
her
call
platform is
her a
growing.
yeah,
Her
they call
platform
her
is
a white
growing. Yeah.
supremacist. They call her a white supremacist, a neo-Nazi, because
Yeah.
she's exposing their bullshit. But
Right.
let me
And
tell you guys
let me
something.
cut you off real quick, because see, here's the thing. Now, Cynthia G says a lot of shit that I agree with. And she also say a lot of shit that I don't agree with. Like that abortion thing. I think
Mhm.
that she went a little bit too far left with that whole we don't have black male babies, but she's not telling black women not to sleep with black men. Notice
No,
that.
she said she's saying that you guys can date outside, because at first she was kind of totally against the interracial mingling or whatever. Now she's kind of like, you know what, get the best man for the job. She's using pink pills talking points. Just get the best man for the job type of thing now. So
And see,
she's kind of
I
open to
can't
it.
I gotta side eye that though, because at
Mhm.
the end of that video I pays attention, and see, I don't have stars in my eyes for nobody. I pays
Uh huh.
attention. At the end of that video, she said, "Yeah, they got the good D."
Yeah, she
So
did say that.
she's not telling black women not to sleep with them though, but she's
I
telling them
think.
not to have their baby.
Yeah, she and then Black Woman Sphere, she talks like that too. Saying she's very pro black male D. So I mean, black women in
Exactly. So
general.
you can
Yeah.
worship the D, but you don't want the seed that come out the D if it's male. You see how hypocritical
Yeah.
that sounds.
Yeah, but I guess like they looking at it like pleasure is different from procreation.
Well, then you, instead of you saying let's go ahead and utilize abortion as a form of eugenics, because it's not even birth control at this point. She's basically saying we're going to target a certain sex and get rid of
Uh-huh.
it.
Yeah, and I think a lot of that what she's saying from what I gather is kind of shock value because the black manosphere kind of promotes it too. They're kind of like anti kids. They don't like kids. They hate kids. They hate single mothers. They hate families in general. So she's playing right into their rhetoric. Like, okay, so you guys keep saying that we keep birthing Pookie and Ray Rays, so let's just stop having creating boys. If we have a son and we found out we're about to have a son, let's just get rid of it. So I think she's just doing it, in my opinion, to create some kind of hysteria when it comes to them. Because I think all of her stuff is directed towards the manosphere, in my
Right,
opinion.
right. Let me tell you something. Like, if black men can cheer, non-black men in disrespecting black women, and clapping along and praising their rhetoric. But at the end of the day, if non-black men will choose who to work with, they will work with the black woman. Because if you guys notice, more black women are getting into business, they're getting into corporations. So if anything, the non-black man is going to work with the black woman, if anything.
Hmm. And I'm trying to figure out, like, what I don't get is that I don't understand why these black men on YouTube hate black women so much. Like, I don't understand where this hate is coming from, where black women are the biggest cheerleaders when it comes to black men. Is it like black men don't want black women's help, or they I don't understand like where the hate is coming from. Like, what did we do to them for them to hate us so much? Because like in real life, we really don't see this as much in our families or whatever, but we see it a lot on the internet and social media. I mean, from what I can just tell, I don't. Where's all this hate coming from? What do we do to them for them to hate us? Or want like a city and say he
Here's
wants to
the
see us
thing:
in a
the
pool
reason
of
why you
blood?
don't hear
What
it
is that?
in real life is because they they want a black woman, to be honest with you, because they can't get get a non-black woman. So if you don't hear them say that in real life, they still want to get with a black woman.
Hmm. And
Well, I
you
don't
know
know
what?
what do
Also,
you have to
yeah.
what do you have to say about it? Because I listen to Love Wisdom a lot of times. Love Wisdom, why do you think there's so much hatred from black men for the black woman? Where do you think this is coming from?
Oh, um, I'm trying to frame this because it really goes deep. There's jealousy. There, you got to
Yeah.
call it for what it is. There's a lot of jealousy, and to me it goes back to, I would say, as far as the crime bill. Like when the crime bill came out and you had all of these black men going to jail, when that happened, then you had welfare reform, and then you had all these programs basically for black women. So while the men were in jail, black women were at home taking care of the children, going to school, and then you seen this big rise in black women moving up in corporate. So when the black man came home, he wasn't coming back home to the projects. He came home to a house.
Mm.
The women done rooted the
Okay.
kids up out of there now. So he's home. She's helping him look for work. Whether a man is a coward or not, he's still a man. There's still some masculinity in him that he wants to do things on his own. It's that machismo. He's out of jail.
Okay.
He can't do anything because he's a felon, so nobody wants to hire him. But you see your woman just, baby, I got it. Baby, I got it. And in his mind, I'm supposed to be doing that, not her. You know what I mean? So there's a jealousy there, that I'm not enough. I'm not enough. She's doing all of this. She's doing all of that. And that jealousy turns into hatred. It really
Mm-hmm.
turns into hatred. And even now, when you talk about Goldman Sachs, Black
Yeah.
women in entrepreneurship, Black women just everywhere in politics and education, places where Black men, right, should have been in. When they were in it, there was a lot of corruption. Let's just be honest. When they were in the politics, it was a lot of corruption. Now the
Yeah.
women are taking over. The women are moving the needle on things. And it's just a deep seated
You
resentment
know,
for all that going on. And
Oh,
even with that,
and let me interject real quick because for my audience on Facebook, I can't really see your comments if you're watching me on Facebook. And if you want to participate in the discussion, you would have to go over to YouTube and type in the faith factor, and then you will be able to participate in the conversation. The link is at the top of the stream for anyone that wants to participate. Again, you would have to go to YouTube and you would have to put into the search engine the faith factor, and you will find this channel and this stream. Click on the link at the top of the chat. All right, I'm sorry about that.
and to agree what she was saying, I do totally agree because I keep seeing this stuff on YouTube where they're saying that Black women being ambitious means that we're masculine. The fact that we have
we
goals and want to go to college, it makes us manly.
right, but it's like, but I think, but it still goes deeper than that. It's like, because we had to take over the reins of the community, we started to get sick because burnout. We got to take care of the children. We got to do this. We got to do that. The grief that Black women go through, people really don't know how we grieve. People really don't know how we suffer in silence, but we're strong. We're out there. We're fighting. Even at the height of disrespect, we still out there fighting, still getting popped up, still getting shot up, still getting hollered and screamed at, but we're still out there doing it. And it's kind of like what Maya Angelou says, still I rise. You doing all of this stuff to me and still I rise. There is jealous. There's a lot of jealousy there, a lot of jealousy there. And I think AP Bixby said it best. You want to go back to where women didn't really have any sort of say in anything, almost like the color purple. I can slap you around, I can use you like a toilet, do what I want to do, because there's no incentive for you to leave me. Now there is big giant incentive to leave. I don't need you. I don't need you. And that's where the jealousy comes from. It's like, look, at this point, I don't know what else sisters need to see or sisters need to hear. It's a jealousy issue, and it's more reasons than that. But the first thing that popped in my mind is jealousy. It's jealousy.
I agree. And also shout out to Godson for the $10 super chat. He says, hold on a second, I pull this up. He says, I think, hold on, I need my glasses, y'all. Y'all know I'm blind up in here. Hold on a second. Pull on my glasses real quick. He says, I think loser Black men are jealous. Yes. So he agrees with Love Wisdom. But let me go ahead and welcome the newest person to the stream because Shelly Beautiful's been down here and she's been waiting patiently. So I want to go ahead and welcome her on. And I don't know if this is a sister or a brother. I'm just assuming because of the name, but welcome to the stream.
Thank you very much. Yes, I had you had another stream and I had called, but this was like a while back. Yeah, but I am a woman. I just wanted to say a comment and I'm gonna leave. I want to piggyback real quick about the Cynthia G and the whole abort or not having Black boys. A lot of these men in these spaces, they come with the idolatry, the not idolatry, I don't know the proper name, but they have this belief that you are the
Ideology.
ideology. Thank you. They have this belief that the father is the one that carries the seed, or you are who your father is. And my thing is that if they believe that, then why are they so triggered by what Cynthia G is saying? Because they believe that any woman that they get with, whether she's Black or non-Black, could still produce Black children. So they shouldn't be afraid, or nobody should, with that belief should be afraid, because you're saying, well, I can get with any woman and she still have a black child. So black male would still be here. So I don't understand the issue here. Like, it's either you believe that or you don't. But if you're getting triggered over that, then you obviously don't believe that you can create black children with any race of woman then. That was just what I wanted to say.
Okay, and absolutely. And I believe that you're absolutely right. They don't really believe a lot of the rhetoric that they're spewing out here. It is all programming language to bring down the self-esteem of black women. And so they have enlisted men like Kevin Samuels, Jason Black, what's his name, Donovan Sharp. They've enlisted men like this to do just that, to degrade and bring down the self-esteem of black women, because black women have been, like Love Wisdom saying, elevating themselves. We've been going to school, becoming more educated. We've been moving up in jobs. We're buying houses, becoming homeowners. And so we have elevated ourselves through our work, and our frame of thought has changed. So no longer are there a plethora of black women coming to these men as mammies, letting them lamp on their sofas. We're no longer cheap, because as we have elevated ourselves and the things that we have become used to and accustomed to as far as how we treat ourselves. And so when the black man sees the black woman, she's not running around here with bonnets on her head and dirty slippers and running to the store in house coats and all this other stuff. But yet we are fixing our hair up. We're wearing nice weave and wigs. We're having some kind of, pride about how we look. We even fixing up our natural hair. They find a problem with this, because now that means that they have to keep that up, and they know they can't. And so rather than try to catch up, meet us at the top, they want us to meet them at the bottom. So this is the reason why you have so many black men angry with black women. It's not just jealousy, but it's also their inability to meet us where we have actually gone and left them.
Yeah, because if you listen to their talking points, they will tell us women, "Oh, your standards are too high. You need to bring it down a little bit," because it's like you said, Faith. They can't keep up with us, so they're asking. Actually, they're begging us to lower our standards a little bit, because our expectation is too high for them. And I say that's too bad, because you have all this time in your adulthood to get yourself together, and you still haven't did that, and you're 35 plus years old, and you are not where you need to be. That is your fault. That is not the fault of the woman, that you can't get on our level, because as women we did what we are supposed to do, and you shouldn't have done the same thing. So no, we are already where you at, where we at. If you're not where we at, that's too bad. You're not the choice that we're going to be choosing.
Exactly. And I don't think any black women should lower her standards. If you have worked hard, you've gone to school, you become a homeowner, you become a business owner, or even if you just elevated your thoughts and how you feel about yourself, and you're no longer lowering your standards to just sleep with any and everybody because they think that they have a black dingaling or black melanin and they're entitled to your body. Even if you elevated your thoughts to feel better and have more standards about yourself, you don't owe them anything. You really don't. They must earn the right to you. You are worth that. And just like this white boy in this video, doing his little parody, because I don't believe that for 1 second that Cynthia G went out with him. Even this white boy tried to lower his expectation of what a date with Cynthia G should be like. And he didn't do a very good job of it, nor was he funny, because even in his parody, he basically stated that Cynthia was expensive for him. So basically, in his own little way, he kind of ragged on himself. Because if you can't afford a $70 meal, imagine if you went out with the faith factor and those meals are $300.
Right.
But I want to go ahead and welcome AP from the Bronx to the stage. What's going on, sis?
Hey, everybody. If I get a phone call, I'll just mute it real quick. But I just wanted to use an analogy that I thought about regarding this issue. Okay, suppose you go to a store and say you go to the Tommy Hilfiger store, and everything in that store is out of your league. You can't afford a damn thing. But you want to have the clout, the Tommy Hilfiger clout. So you look at a t-shirt, the t-shirt is $80. You look at a baseball cap at $75. You can't afford a damn thing in there. So you go when nobody's looking, you take an ink pen and you write on the baseball cap, and then you go to the cashier and say, hey, can you give me some money off of this because it's damaged? You're the one that damaged it. You're lowering the value of that baseball cap because you know good and well you can't afford anything in that store. So you're trying to lower the value so that you can afford it. And to me, that's what a lot of these black men are doing. They know good and well that you're out of their league. They know good and well that you leveled up, but they still want you. So they're trying to lower your value so that they can afford you.
Exactly.
So that's what Kevin Samuels' whole platform is on. It's about telling black women to lower their standards and
Yeah.
demeaning us by saying we're too overweight to demand anything of high quality.
Yeah.
Like our self-esteem shouldn't be as high because we're fat.
Yeah. That's what they're trying to do. Instead of rising to the occasion, they're trying to knock us down a few pegs.
That's exactly what he's trying to do, and that's what his platform. But Kevin Samuels is just the latest, and I submit to you right now, Kevin Samuels is going to be put away. There's just too much stuff coming out about him. He's going to be over with pretty soon, and then there will be another to replace him because they need a constant flow and a constant supply of these men to lower the self-esteem of women and also to recruit what they call German shepherds.
Yeah, that is true. And then if you notice, if you go to his Instagram, he had put up a picture, because last week was like telling black men to date interracial. So he put a picture of a white girl on his Instagram, and she was very petite, real small and skinny. And if you look at the comments, the black men are like, nah, this ain't it, fam. Nah, we like our sisters. Like he received so much backlash because it was a skinny white girl. Now, if it was like a thick white girl with curves, I think the message would have came across a lot different. But the fact that he put a real small white girl up there, they weren't going for that. And so it leads me to believe that Kevin is really like, he doesn't like thick women. Just like that time when he posted that picture of like Lizzo, but it wasn't Lizzo, it was somebody else. And he was trying to bash a woman for being like quote unquote overweight. But a lot of brothers were saying like, no, she's curvy, Kevin. This is not what you need right here. Like they were like kind of going against his narrative. So he has a problem with curvy black women. He likes that thin, frail look, and that lets us know that he's not in that.
Kevin does not want a woman. He wants a man.
Right.
So that's the reason why the women that he normally posts have these boyish figures.
Bodies. Right. Exactly.
He doesn't seem like he likes women at all because most men that like women, they know that women are the fairer sex and they change their tonality when they speak to women. That's a little bit milder and a little bit nicer. He gets harsh and mean and pissed off. Mm-hmm. He doesn't like women. He does not think that women are the fairer sex. He acts like women are his competition.
Right. Especially living in a place like Atlanta where, it's all that black girl magic out there. Like he's seeing black women with businesses, owning real estate, doing the most out there. So of course he's gonna have some kind of resentment because at one point in time he was working at what Sephora. He wasn't making money like that, but he saw the black women coming in and with their nice cars and their jewelry and their Gucci slippers. So he kind of like developed a disdain for that because it's like, women get to do so much and I don't get to do, because of who I am or whatever the case may be. So I think
Yeah,
that,
jealousy, like Love
yeah,
Wisdom said, jealousy.
yes, a jealousy thing. And that's crazy. Like, I don't get it. Like, women are very helpful, especially black women. We are very helpful when it comes to black men. Like, we're not the type of people that are like, I'm better than you, you're this. I don't see black women doing that. Black women are helpers for the most part. We're not out here trying
But
to
you
get
but
over on
you
black
you you
men.
cannot help these black men. Just like I did work with a black man before, and I'm telling you, when I tried to help this guy, and this was in the trucking industry. I trained this guy because the company was getting ready to get rid of him. And so I was a trainer at the time. And they came to me, they said, Faith, this guy is out of here. There's nothing that we can do with him, and I looked at him, and this is a black guy. And at that time, they were not only alienating women from the field, but they were alienating a lot of black men. And so I said, you know what? I'll take him because no other trainers wanted to train with this guy. I took him. I taught this boy everything. I taught him how to do the hours of service, how to, to look at his log books, how to do the fuel, everything he needed to know, not just driving the truck, but also the how can I say, the business operation of how to handle the truck, even if you wanted to go and have your own business. I was even getting him prepared for that. And then I also taught him the mechanics of it. Like, this is how you hold the steering wheel when you're trying to get into this tight space and that tight space, that sort of thing. And do you know, this Negro had the nerves and the audacity when he started getting better. He had the nerves and audacity to start comparing himself to me and then started to compete with me.
Wow.
After I helped him. And then he would get angry when people would come to him and say, yeah, if it wasn't for Faith, you wouldn't have even got a foot in the door in this company. And he told them, no, it's because of my hard work. It had nothing to do with her. So he was like diminishing everything that I did because he couldn't stand for anybody to say anything good to him about me.
Jealousy.
But they are jealous of other black men too. Like, maybe this overall black men are just jealous of everybody because they're jealous of white men, black women, black men.
But the problem with black men is the jealousy factor is through the roof. You cannot, I hate to say this, but it's almost like you can't help them. You have to let them pull themselves up by their own bootstraps, so to speak.
You know what? My stepdaddy told me that when I was in college, I had a talk with him one day and I was around like 19, 20 years old. And he was telling me, he said, if a man asks you for $20, he said, don't give him nothing. He said that men respect women more when they don't help them out. He told me that
Yes.
at like when I was 19, 20 years old, he said that they have to help themselves in order for them to appreciate you. So you giving them something is going to make them disrespect you and be mean to you. And this is what he told me when I was like a sophomore in college.
The resentment is real. I'm telling you, I went through days when I was in my 20s and 30s trying to help a brother out, help a brother elevate. And always there was that competition factor that was always there. Why this person acknowledging you and not acknowledging me? How come you getting this recognition and I'm not getting this recognition? And then the comparisons start. They start comparison, just like black men right now. They're comparing themselves to black women now all the time. You see it now on social media. We make more money than y'all. We do this better than y'all. They're always comparing themselves to women. They're always in competition with women.
Yeah, because it's another company called Gray Men America. they're actually giving millions of dollars to black women also outside of Goldman Sachs and Visa, MasterCard, and other companies and stuff, right? So I see these dudes in the comment section of this particular video. It looked like the people had to shut down the comments because they were getting so much hate from black men about this. And it's like they're blaming black women for companies helping us out. And I'm like, this is, I don't know why y'all getting mad at us. These are companies that looked at the data and they saw that black women were the fastest growing business owners. We're the ones that's going to college at higher rates. Why are y'all getting mad at us? And they're, like I said, they're looking at the data. And for anything, if black women get this money, it's going to go right into the black man's hand anyway, because black women are always helping black men. You know, it's like a
Thanks.
community thing for us. So it's like, why don't y'all just let us get the money and you're going to get it too? Like, chill out. Like, it's disturbing.
And
Like, maybe,
that's one thing I do agree with
Yeah.
Woman's Fair on. Now, Woman's Fair on her channel talks about this all the time. She don't give a nigga no room to breathe whatsoever.
Can I say something?
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, because the reason why they get mad is because they want the money in their hands. They don't want the money to go into the woman's because it makes them feel some type of way like they can't get this money. So what they do is like, because I hear them say this type of stuff before. They said this one guy, he made a video saying that black men need the money more than black women. And I'm just like, okay, in my mind, it's like, what are you guys doing to even earn money for companies to even support you?
right.
Like, come on now, make it make sense.
Yeah, because
And
their
then if
demographic.
they
I'm
get
sorry,
the
go ahead.
money, if black men get the money, are they going to pour the money back into their community, or are they going to go running to other communities with the money? Because when other people help our community, they see helping black women as helping the community because they know black women are community oriented.
Right. And that's why when those politicians come in the black community, they go straight for the black women's vote. Because there's no such thing as a black male's vote. You know, they come to us and pander to us to get our vote. You know, that's why the Democrats are, you know, heavily invested in black women. Look at what Stacey Abrams did for Georgia. She turned a red state to blue. And then I saw in Harris County, I think a town in Texas, like they had one local election and they elected 20 black female judges in one election. You know, we don't see that happening in record numbers when it comes to black men. So when you look at data, because these white folks look at data, and there's no data that supports anything, I guess, positive or what black males are doing. You know, they're not like the fastest growing business owners. They're not the fastest growing population going to college. They're not the fastest growing and pretty much what they consider positive. But I see some black men doing things, going to trade school or whatever, but maybe it's not in record numbers to what the data, you know, should support or whatever. So that could be
You're
a factor
absolutely right.
also.
You're absolutely right. But when a lot of these politicians look at different communities, they pour the money where they think is going to benefit that community because they know that the voting block comes with a large segment of a community. So they're going
Right,
to pour money into the Asian community through Asian men, through the
right,
Latino community, through Latino men, because those men are going to put the money back into the community and the community is going to vote as a block for whoever helped them. But if you put the money into black men, what these politicians know is that black men are not community oriented. So if they pour the money into the black men, they're not going to get the voting block for the entire community through black men because black men are not community oriented.
right. And then you know when you were saying that also, when you look at like even stats when it comes to the women, like for an example, like Asian women have like a lot of positives that are in their direction too, because you know they go to school, they're business owners also, but they're not pumping the money to Asian women because, like you say, their men are out here building things, you know, so it's no need to pretty much give them anything. But I guess that hate bill that they wanted passed or whatever, because they men went out there and probably paid some politicians off and they was able to get something done or whatever, right? The Latino community, I don't see what the Latino women are doing that's like so significant either. So I don't see them wanting to do anything for them. But when it comes to the black community, they see the black women doing all of this, all these positive things. So it's like, let's go ahead and invest in us because it makes logical sense and the data supports it all around. So I think that, black men shouldn't be mad at this. They should just, for the most part, just, come together with us to create something positive for the community instead of creating all this negativity and all these negative videos going against what, what we're trying to do here. So
But
if they
look at how the Democrats supported Barack Obama. They did not support a black man that was not married to a black woman, and
Right.
that is the message that a lot of these black men were not paying attention to. They got behind a black man that had a black woman and a black family because they respect that. At the end of the day,
yeah,
that's what they respect.
and that's another thing too, is that, like when white America, Asian America, whoever, they look up to families. They support families, like the J people, the Jewish people. They're all about families. It's this book that I'm reading called The Jewish Phenomenon, right? And it's so powerful. I think every black person should read it because it makes you understand how these people are like 6% of the world's population, and they were able to create all this generational wealth, and for them to be so successful, for them to dominate all these industries, and for and for us, particularly like black men, they don't have a sense of family. If you listen to the manosphere, they're anti-family. They're all about going their own way, being individuals. They want to, for some reason, they want to be stuck in poverty. This is why they always promote going overseas to get a poverty-stricken woman, so they can feel better about themselves. It's all ego-driven when it comes to black men. They don't really understand that it takes two to build something, build an empire, and the white man promotes that, but they don't want to go along with that narrative. They just want to keep black women down for ego reasons.
But another thing about Barack Obama is that Michelle is from an Ivy League school. She has an Ivy League education, right, just like him. And she's not the stereotype that the manosphere says. She's dark skinned. She don't have a weave or a wig. She's in shape. She's intelligent. She's articulate. And she's a good mom. And so the whole world sees her worth, but she would not be considered the pick if you let the manospheric type men choose who Barack should have married.
Right.
No, she's unambiguously black. And right, that is not what they promote. And see, as far as them going overseas and putting their money overseas, this is what other groups do not respect. Now, that black men are the butt of everybody's jokes at this point, and they don't really see it. And see, right, Cynthia G, going back to what this whole thing is about, what the topic is about, she is going down that slippery slope. Because now we have white men coming out and making parodies, and it's not very funny parody about her, because she's starting to sound like the black men that hate black women, and that isn't good for us either.
Mm-hmm.
So now if we have a lot of that going on, black women will lose the respect that we have in the eyes of other groups as well. Because we're going to be no better than the black men. Nobody respects anybody talking down on their own group.
Yeah.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more on that. That's why I said originally, if you don't want to deal with one another, that's fine. The world is your oyster. There's a difference between calling out the bad behavior and going overboard with some of the name calling that I've heard from both sides going back and forth. And for black women, because that's where my main concern is, black women right now are sitting on a gold mine. You got to strike while the iron is hot. We are fixing our image. We are changing the way we're perceived. I haven't seen black women in a long time call out such bad behaviors of other black women. And that's a beautiful thing to see. You call out the bad behavior. You uplift the images. There is a black femicide issue that's going on right now in the community. If you go on Instagram, so many black women are sharing black women that are missing, black women that have been found. Unfortunately, black women that have been murdered. We have become our own social media to change our image across the world. And because of that, the world sees Black women differently. But if we, as Michelle Obama would say, when they go low, we go high. If you meet these men at the level that they're trying to get you on, then it's going to be in the reverse. Because the men, if it don't apply to you, let it fly. Because of the men have a bad reputation globally, well, misery loves company. So I have to drag the women down with me so we both can share in this misery together. No, you have to pick up yourself by the bootstraps as a man and change your own image. If you want to be objectified, if you want to be used as a sexual living, breathing dildo, that's you. I don't have to be a part of that. I have to change my image as a Black woman in society because I'm out here just like you. This is why last year, when you had all those Black women marching and protesting, you got a whole lot of pushback from Black women like, what are you doing? Sis, get off the line, get out the line. Because again, what does that make us look like? Like the Dora Milaje, and we could get clothesline and get our head knocked off too. Okay, but since you want to act like a man, we want to treat you like a man. So for Black women right now, we got to focus on the task at hand. If you don't want to deal with Black men, that is fine, sis. You are desired and wanted by men outside of the community. Trust me, I see it every day.
Every
Okay?
day.
Every day, I see it. Faith knows when me and her talk and I go out, it's non-Black men talking to me. She hear the conversation. So it's like, you are desired. You are desired. Go where you're respected, go where you're loved, and go where you're celebrated, regardless of who that is. But all of this name calling back and forth and this, pocking up like a peacock to try to one up each other, that's not going to work because one thing with non-Black people that they respect is loyalty. You can be dating them, but you have to still have respect for your people because that's where you came from. If you're dealing with any non-Black person that will sit back and allow you to say disrespectful things about your people, I'm telling you right now, that's not going to last because they're making their exit strategy. A white man will not date a Black woman and talk bad about a white woman. He will never do that. I don't care how much he don't like white women because his mama white. He ain't going to do that. An Asian man can date a Black woman, will never talk bad about an Asian woman. A white woman can be with a Black man, will never talk bad about Black men. Never. That's
You know what?
you don't do it. Don't do it.
The piggyback on what you were talking about, the social justice warrior thing, and how a lot of Black women are pushing back on like telling Black women not to be on the front lines. Like I saw this coming a long time ago because during like what was that 2016 2017 when you had like Philando Castile when he was killed by the police, and you had like Eric Garner and all these men were being murdered by the police. Everybody was on one accord. Everybody was on, like stop the police brutality. White men stop killing the Black men. But it changed a little bit when like Sandra Bland was killed and Corrine Gaines. Like Black men came out in full force saying that those women deserved it. They shouldn't have been going off at the mouth. They probably was mouthy. I've never seen that. It was just disgusting to see how they were attacking these women that were killed by the police, but everybody was on one accord when it was the men that were getting killed by the police, right? So over time, I developed this whole mindset too of like just trying to like just stay out of it because of that factor. Because I'm like, when a Black woman is killed, they don't have the same empathy and sympathy compared to when a white man does it to a Black man.
No,
But you know what that's
they don't.
called? That's called lopsided relationship. Because and then you're absolutely right. Love Wisdom is absolutely right. And the women that came out against that was absolutely right. If we're sitting up here and we're rallying for all the Black men that are being killed by the police unjustly, and then the same thing, the exact same scenarios are happening also to Black women. But when it happens to us, Black men are not rallying for us. They are basically agreeing with basically the people that are killing us, saying that we deserved it. We must have been
Right.
mouthing off and all of this. That is lopsided relationship. That's a lopsided relationship. And that's the thing that I talk about a lot here too. If you don't have reciprocity, you don't have anything at all. So in absence of reciprocity, what do? You withdraw your presence. And that's the problem that a lot of Black women have. We don't want to withdraw our presence from these men who are not reciprocating with us.
Uh-huh.
And back to what the sister was saying earlier about, you know, picking themselves up by their own bootstraps.
That was
Oh, that was you. You can't. I understand that, you know, women, we have a very nurturing spirit. A man has to be a man. See, what I've noticed with other groups of people, they have like rites of passage for boys. They have rites of passage. Like they for example, like if you go to South Korea, when those boys turn 18-year-old, they have to go to the military mandatory for like 18 to 24 months. Mandatory in the military. They have to. It's a rites of passage because you have to be the protectors of your people. You have Caucasian men, their boys go through a rites of passage, whether it's learning a martial arts, learning how to shoot. When you watch these shows like Mountain Man and all that stuff with them living in, that's a rites of passage to become men. Because we don't have a rites of passage in the community unless it's about cocking a woman's leg back. That's your rites of passage. There is no rites of passage for the boys to become men about discipline and conflict resolution skills. None of that. And because there's none of that there, they look to their mommies for help. Ladies, when you try to help these men, ladies, I'm gonna be honest with you, as much as they'll tell you online, we love Black women for their strength, we love that you hold us down, they can't stand you. They do not like when you do that. The reason why they allow you to do it, because let's be real, Black women, now it's time to pull our coattails just a little bit. They allow you to do it because you always want to be big mama. A Black man can stub his toe before he can even bend down to see how hard it is. Here come a Black woman with gauze and alcohol. Baby, I got it for you. Half of the time, sometimes Black women won't even let Black men speak for themselves. Excuse me, I got it. No, that man got to stand on his own 2 feet. You are not his mama. You're not his project. I don't like to see. I'm against police brutality. I'm against it. I don't like it. But I'm going to be real with you. If these men are complaining about the white man all day, then I'm going to need you to do something about this white man you got a problem with. I don't expect to see women and children on the front lines yelling, no justice, no peace, while you sitting online talking about how raggedy the Black bitch is and slapping her across the face with a skateboard and shit. No, I'm going to need you to get your ass out there, Imhotep, or at least comedic names y'all want to name yourselves online, Huey P. Newton. Get out there and go fight that man that you got a problem with. The women and children need to be at home. Why are you allowing Faith, you sisters, y'all remember when they had that whole border situation about a couple of weeks ago? And you had that man on that horse. And that man said, your country is a shithole because you use your women. Because that man literally was trying to push a pregnant woman and children in front of him for that whip. And that man on that horse said, your country is a shithole because you use your women and children. If you have another race of men on a horse with a whip, as if that's already bad enough, telling you the reason why you in the situation that you're in is because you use your women and children. You using your women as a shield to protect yourself. What does that say? What does that tell you?
It doesn't look good for Black women. It doesn't look good for Black men, that is, across the globe. That's what it's saying. So it's not just the dusty American Black men, but it's the dusty Haitian, it's the dusty Nigerian, it's the dusty what do you call it? Mid Islander, or what do you call those guys? Caribbean Islander. It's all of those dusty black men that don't look good at all. And in other countries, non-black men don't even want these guys going and visiting their countries anymore because they are contributing to the single mother epidemic now in their countries, bringing their disease rhetoric that they're doing over here, over there, overseas. They're not marrying those women either.
No, no. And that's why for black women, you gotta let these men fight their own battles. You have to be quiet, focus on what you gotta focus on, and you gotta let these men fight their own battles. Now, somebody might say, so are you trying to say black men and black women are two separate groups now? Yes, I'm saying that now. If we can't work together as a unit, then we are considered a separate group. You fight your shit, I fight mine. Because you're not going to disrespect me in front of the world. And then when the world puts boot and taser in your behind, you going to look at me and say, well, the black man and the black women just need to fight together. Who? I thought I was a German Shepherd. I thought I was a Strag. Who's supposed? Oh no, excuse me. Pick up your sword and shield. Pick up the chopper. Because if you could put your chopper against other black men, women, and children, you can put the chopper on the man you talk about every day. Now you get out there and you fight. You get out there and you fight.
Do you think it has a lot to do with the fact that, you know, black women, we put race first and black men put their gender first?
Yes.
Maybe that's a lot of the issues because they see themselves as men before black, and women we see ourselves black before female.
You hit the nail on the head, sis. That's exactly what it is. Look, let's talk about divestment for a little bit. Divesting in a nutshell means to end any relationship, whether business or personal, that no longer holds value. If I see you as a liability, I don't want to deal with you. The men have divested from the community since the 60s. Some will even say further than that. The men already look at the women and children as a liability. What am I here for? So the men are going to put their gender first before they put their race. That's why for black women, it's kind of hard to understand that why can't you see what's going on? They see what's going on, but they don't look at race. They only look at race when it affects them. Them, keyword, them. When it affects them, it's race first. When everything is good in the hood, well, it's just about me being a man. Black women across the board put their race first. I am a black woman. I am a black mother. I am a black wife. Race comes first. And because of that, it's like this loyalty that I have to have, because if I am perceived to be disloyal, because black women are the only group, if there's any sign of disloyalty, the whole community kick her out. We seen this done.
Oh yeah.
She got the scarlet letter on her chest, walking down the streets of shame.
Mm-hmm.
For the smallest infraction. The men can leave the community, come back, deaf to the community, and will still be welcomed with open arms. So yes, it has a lot to do with race loyalty. Now that you're seeing black women putting their gender first, saying, no, I'm a woman.
But don't it make us a feminist though? Like, we're feminists if we put our gender before our race, right?
Right. Well, you're a feminist because you're putting your gender
damned
first.
if you do, damned if
you don't. So to me, this how I put it. Then I'll be a feminist then. Because putting race first, I'm not getting a return on my investment. I'm not getting a return on my investment. I've seen what these men said about Sandra Bland, what they said about Corinne Gaines.
Yep.
Hell, what they even said about Breonna Taylor. And Breonna Taylor was an innocent woman with no criminal record, no nothing. They was calling her a drug queen pin.
Yep.
They said Corinne Gaines deserved to be shot while also saying she looked good. That was a little creepy. You even had Sheriff David Clark on national TV, a black man. If Sandra Bland was my daughter, I would disown her. So
Yep.
it's like, hello, Meg Thee Stallion got shot in the foot. They was all on Twitter saying Tory Lane set the stage. You bitches can get shot this year. And I
Mm-hmm.
kid you not, when he said that, you had scores of black women getting shot.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And the
You
women were
had
actually, they was on his side. A lot of women, like I have a
a
friend of
lot of
mine,
women was on
his
Tory
side.
Lane's
Yep.
side.
Yep.
They look, the women was getting shot. You had some female YouTubers. You had some female YouTubers last year got killed by husband, boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. Black female YouTubers killed. Yeah. Uh-huh. You had one that was doing the time. The girl got slapped in the face with a skateboard in Harlem. Another black woman got thrown in a dumpster. Oyatola Salahu was out there in that sweltering heat saying, I'll ride for my Black Lives Matter, and died 3 days later.
By the hands of a black man.
Yep. I seen that.
So when we are having these conversations and the men say, oh, y'all just hate black men, I roll my eyes. The proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. The
But
proof
here's
is
the
in the pudding.
thing. They need to ask themselves, do black women have a reason?
Do they have a reason?
And none of them ever asks, do we have a reason? Because see, we always ask, what is the reason why they hate us? We always ask.
And you know the reason
the
why they hate
question
us?
is, and the question is, do they really have a reason to hate us?
You know what their
No.
reasons are, Faith? Do you know the reasons what they say? Because when I listen to these dudes when they create these videos, it's all aesthetics. It's always long nails, it's hair, it's makeup, and then they'll conclude it by saying attitude. So it'll be like all of this exterior stuff, and then attitude.
And that's the reason that black women need to get shot, because we wear weave, because we have
Right.
fingernails, because we have an attitude. This is the reason why we should die.
Right. Because of weave, nails, eyelashes, and makeup.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, black women are actually being beaten. We're being killed. We're being raped. I'm sorry, graped.
Mm-hmm.
We're being all types of abused here. We actually have a reason to feel the way we feel about our men.
Mm-hmm.
So there we go again with the lopsided relationship and black men's inability to compare apples to apples and oranges to oranges.
And a lot of us are even like, me, myself, we're like married to black men, and, or your black man is your boyfriend or whoever, we pretty much still date and be with black men. My issue is just these internet guys, so that's where all my, I guess, vitriol and negativity is about. It's just these manosphere and the things that they're saying, because like I say, stuff does manifest in real life. But like on the daily, you don't really talk about these kind of things in real life. It's all internet stuff, So
exactly. But
so
the internet stuff is filtering over into real life, because every 6 hours a black woman is dying by the hands of a black man. And Diamond and Pearls down here said it perfectly. She said, meanwhile, they're hugging white murderers in court on public television.
Right. See, now that's key right there. That's key. That's key. So with all of these sisters fighting and speaking out and standing for these men are basically saying F you, and we're gonna hug and we're gonna uplift other groups of women. They're not asking other groups of women to fight their battles. That's another key point too. You're not asking your preferences to fight your battles. Why? Because you already know the men in that community will not allow that to happen. They won't even allow their women to fight their battles. What makes you think you won't call on them? No, they're not going to do that. They're not going to do that. But you expect black women to do it. And the thing is with black women, if you keep doing it, if you keep doing it, the tide will slowly turn against you.
Mm-hmm. And you know what?
You
Another thing that I keep hearing too is like whenever something happens, a lot of the guys say it's single parent, it's the mother's fault because it's a single parent. But my thing is that where are these black men? Because I see black men all over the place. Like, so are they not in a home, or are they we see them? So I'm not understanding, because from what I gather nowadays, a lot of black people they might not be married, but they probably cohabitating. So a lot of these kids are growing up in two-parent family homes. It just the paperwork isn't necessarily there, just to correlate the whole situation of them being married or whatever. So I'm like, why is everything always got to fall on the mom? If FBD Juck, whoever that guy was, the rapper that was killed, like everybody always got to blame it on the mother because of some 22-year-old that was murdered and killed, and this is an adult man. You get what I'm saying? So where these
right.
Okay,
fathers? I see them all over the place.
Ronald Crump says is correcting me. He says every 6 hours a woman is killed, not a black
Not a
woman.
black woman.
That's not true. Every 6 hours it's a black woman. Black women's numbers have actually surpassed white women's as far as murder. Black femicide has all of those numbers. Every 6 hours is a black woman. She focuses primarily on black women, not other groups of women.
Yeah.
Every 6 hours is a black woman. It used to be every 8. It's every 6.
All right, and for anybody that doesn't agree, you can come up here and respectfully disagree. We can have the conversation. This is an open panel. Anybody that has an opinion can come up and express their opinion as long as they're being respectful to my platform. So I do want to welcome Ronald Crump to the stage, and ladies, if he has a difference of opinion, we're going to respect his opinion and we're going to have the conversation respectfully. But go ahead, Mr. Crump.
Okay, well, I've been looking up the stats on the every 6 hours. I have yet to see it say black women. I have seen it say women of all races are getting killed every 6 hours in the United States. Not black women, but women of all races. So that's a misconception and a lie that has been repeated over and over. And if you repeat a lie long enough, it eventually becomes the truth to those who want to believe it. But that's not the truth. Black women are not being killed every 16 hours. It's every 19 hours. That's still
But
a
they still being
problem.
killed though. But they still being killed, right?
Well, people get killed anyway. Black men are the number one murdered people in the United States, and it's by black men, but black men are still being murdered. People are going to get killed. There's no way you can stop that. The police can't stop it. The judges can't stop it. Nobody's going to stop that. So people are going to get killed, but we have to stop telling these lies and saying that a black woman get killed every 6 hours. That's false. There's been a number of things I've heard on this panel that I just 100% disagree with. From
Can you show us these stats, please? Can you pull them up and show them?
Well, all you have to do is Google that one. You could Google that one easily, and you would not see anywhere where it say black women. I guarantee you will not see anywhere where it say black women are killed in every 6 hours.
Okay, I'm actually looking it up as we speak. Hold on a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, because at first I thought it was a South Africa stat. Because at first I was like, I was seeing for black men.
Now in South Africa, women are being raped and murdered at a very high rate. But we're talking about here in the United States, that does not happen.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. At first when I saw the 6 hour thing, it was pertaining to South Africa. Then when I started watching Black Femicide, she was saying it was Black American women too. So
and on the jealousy thing, I heard y'all mention jealousy. When I can see a white man can use a black woman in a strategic manner, playing chess, to use her against the black man, that does not make the black man jealous because he can clearly see what's going on. He sees how she is being used against him, and he becomes angry. A normal man is going to become angry because he's trying to tell the woman, hey, you're being used against me, and you're willingly working with this man that is using you against me. And instead of you listening to me, you're telling me, oh, well, I'm more educated than you. You're just jealous of me. I have more than you. I have more business than you. And I'm steady trying to tell you this man is being strategic in how he is keeping the community divided. But you won't listen.
But that's the thing, though. But like I was saying earlier, is that when the white man does give the black woman money, like the Goldman Sachs, the Graham America, the Mastercard, and the Visa, the money goes to the black man too. So
It's
I
not.
don't
It's
get
not
it.
a. It's not about it coming to us. We know what he is trying to do. He is playing. This is more mind games than anything. It doesn't matter where the money goes, because at the end of the day, he is basically saying, "Hey, I'm putting your woman above you. I'm gonna make sure she's above you, and I'm gonna keep her there. I'm gonna use whatever power I have, and that's the way it's gonna be." And that's what black men are seeing. We're seeing that black women are being used as pawns against black men.
But why would they give a group of men money? Like, why would men do that for
They don't need
another
to give
for another group of
anybody any
men?
money. You notice
But they
one
do
thing?
though.
But hold on, they not giving Asian women money like you said. And the reason why they're not giving Asian women money, because Asian men are not their enemies. They don't have a hatred for Asian men. They don't have a hatred for Arab men. They don't have a hatred for all these other men. They have a
But
hatred for black men. So
no, because
they're using black women against black men.
But here's the
The
thing,
re-
though. Here's the thing, though, is that the Asian men, we see them out here building up their communities. They have a whole Chinatown, Koreatown. They see that. In the black community, they don't necessarily see that. They don't see Michael Jordan creating a chain of restaurants. They don't see this Irving guy, the basketball player, out here creating anything, building up
But
high
you have
rises,
Shaquille
building
O'Neal have
stuff.
a chain of restaurants, and you have Rick Ross who
Who?
have a chain of restaurants. I mean,
The,
you have
well,
black men that own restaurants.
but
And
I'm just,
but
go
before I
ahead.
go any further, I'm not a Kevin Samuels fan, but I'm not a hater either. The comment said about him being gay. Look, black men get that all the time. Unless you can prove it, you should never call a black man gay, because once again, that is what black women have been doing for so long. You constantly attacking us,
Oh,
but
okay,
you saying
Ronald,
it's us
Ronald,
that's doing the
Ronald,
Ronald,
attack.
Ronald.
Ronald, stop,
Hold
stop.
on, stop,
I,
stop. I gotta
Go
stop you
ahead.
right there.
Go
Oh
Because
ahead.
my
first of
God.
all, there have been too many instances of this man
Have you seen
being
him with a man?
hold on a second. I'm getting to that. I'm getting
Okay.
to that.
Go ahead.
Okay, first of all, the man was a cheerleader in high school. That's circumstantial, because we do know that there are a lot of male cheerleaders, but he was a cheerleader in high school, okay, and not your, masculine type. He was your shake your booty type, rah rah rah, homosexual looking male cheerleader. Okay,
Was
that's what he
Prince
was.
gay?
Okay, that's strike number one. Then strike number two, he's on his stream and he's talking to a young man, and he's telling the young man about himself. And then out of the blue, he asks the man, how big is his penis?
I
What
heard that.
man wants to know what
Okay.
size of
Let's put
another
that in
man's penis?
context. Let's put that in context. I heard that stream. What he was basically telling the man is the young man felt he deserved a good-looking woman. And what Kevin was telling him, you don't have any money, you're fat, and you have a small penis. You do not deserve a good-looking woman until you at least get two of them. You can't control the size of your penis, but you can control the other two. So basically, and I heard the whole stream that he
Okay,
wasn't asking the man that
what has
about
the
himself.
size of his penis got to do with his ability to
Because
attract women?
at least if you're not attractive, and you don't have money, but at least if you have a large penis, you can still
So
kind of
if you are a relationship coach, you're gonna go around asking men what size their penis is and what their likelihood of attracting a woman is based on his penis size. Is that what you're saying?
what I'm saying is that's what Kevin Samuels was. If you watch the whole stream, you know that's
Yeah,
exactly
I
what he's
watched the
asking.
whole stream and I thought it was odd. No male relationship coaches have ever come at a man to
Well,
ask him the size of
I'm
his
not saying
penis.
he should have did it, but
But
he
that's just strike number two. Then
okay.
Okay,
Go
strike
Faith.
ahead.
number three, the glitch. Okay, there's a man sleeping in his bed. The
Yeah,
glitch.
in a dirty room.
That
Okay,
one
now,
wasn't dirty.
why would
That
there
room
be
was
a
dirty.
man in his bed? Why?
That
Why
was
would there
come
be a
on
man
now.
there?
that wasn't meant.
That was not his place. Come on now.
That
I'm not
But it
was.
doesn't. But
listen.
wait, it
Listen,
doesn't
I'm not
matter
a
if
Kevin
it
fan.
was.
Let me clarify this, because I don't like the way he is very aggressive. I will say he's very aggressive and he's very rude. I'm not a Kevin Samuels fan, but when it comes to black men being unjustly labeled as being gay, that's uncalled for.
But
Unless you have
this
tangible
is
proof,
not unjustly
It's
labeling him.
not.
you don't have
Then
any tangible
out of
proof.
his very own mouth on a most recent stream that he did not 2 or 3 weeks ago, he
That's
was
saying
sitting
he's
up
not gay.
here. No, hold on. He was sitting up here telling black men that it's better to make a brown stain than have nothing at all, and that men should look towards being with other men. This
And he
is out of
understands the
control
impulse. And
now.
he said he understands the impulse. The impulse of what? Like, you don't need a statement by saying you understand the impulse. Men should be with me. I understand the impulse. Then on a later stream, he talks about the Greco-Roman culture and saying that how men didn't need women because men could just be amongst each other, amongst, gathering nuts or whatever and be with each other. So he keeps,
Well,
spewing out
look.
all of this stuff. So
As far as
we
that,
seeing it.
I think Kevin Samuels is talking about history and how men did back in the day, that they only used women for the purpose of birth. And that was true way back in the day, way back in medieval times. Men were being, that was their thing. That was mostly Europeans, though. So I don't understand the context in which he was discussing it. So I can't really speak on that. But I know the things that he has discussed and what I have heard. There's nothing that would lead me to believe that the man is gay. The man might be very Prince-like, because Prince was
Well,
very.
I've been around heterosexual men. Like my brother friends would come over and he got into a fight with one of his friends one time because the boy sat on his bed. He said, "I don't want no nigga ass on my bed."
Okay, but that's different. And guess what? I'm straight as an arrow. 100% heterosexual. Would I want to fight a man because he sat on my bed? That tells me you kind of questioning your own sexuality. Because a straight man wouldn't feel offended. Now I don't want you sitting on my bed for hygiene reasons, but I'm not gonna feel any type of way about you sitting on my bed because I feel gay or something. No.
I'm sorry. Nothing surprised me anymore about this space. It really doesn't. There's been proof, word and indeed, about this man's questionable orientation. Personally, I don't care. Okay, but you're not gonna play in people's faces. People seen it and people heard it. All right, all this cap is ridiculous. About the white man using the black woman against the black man. This has been said since the 60s, and my question is this: what are y'all? Damn the women for just a second. Forget the women for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
What are y'all as men gonna do about this white man using the women against y'all? What y'all gonna do? Because I'm tired of hearing the same, excuse my French, shit. What y'all gonna do about the white man that y'all got such an issue with? What y'all gonna do about him using the women against y'all? What y'all gonna do? Well, I just want to know what y'all gonna do as a collective. What y'all gonna do?
Well, I can't speak for the collective. I'm only one individual. What I will say is that it's just a hurtful thing to me to see something so obvious, and then the women try to play like they don't see it. Or if you really don't see it, then
kind of like it's obvious that Kevin Samuels is gay and you refuse to see it.
I want a solution. I don't want no fluff. I want to know what you gonna do. I don't want no fluff. What you gonna do? You said as an individual. What you gonna do as an individual?
There is nothing that needs to be done. Only thing.
Then what you nagging about it for? You said ain't nothing that can be done.
Okay, can I speak?
I'm not a kid. I'm a woman. But
I didn't say. I said, can I speak?
Go ahead.
Okay. The only thing I said, as far as the situation dealing with the white man, is that black women need to just be more cognitive of what's going on. And don't throw it in black men's face. We don't want to hear that you're more educated than us. You don't need to tell. There are many women that's more educated than their men. Matter of fact, more women are going to school today than ever before over men. But you're the only group of women that tell us repeatedly that you're more educated than us. Why? Why do you need to tell us that?
You're the only group of men who tell us on the regular how much we have no value. Explain that.
Those men, the men that y'all seem to like so much for whatever reason, those in the hood, they're the main ones that tell y'all that.
No.
I don't. Hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. We can't all talk at the same time. But I do recall that black women were not the ones that came out saying that we are the most educated. Actually, it was the news and basically mainstream media
And who
that
controls that?
reported that we are
And who
the most
controls that?
educated.
And why do you think they came out and tell you that? Because they didn't go out and tell Asian women that they were more educated than Asian men, and they didn't go out and tell Arab women or any other women. Why do you think they came
Because
out and
they're not.
purposely made? Why? Yes, they are. All women are more educated than their men. Every single race of woman in the United States, you can Google that right now. Every woman. But why didn't they come out and specify to white women, hey, you're
Because
getting more education than white?
black women have surpassed all
No,
other groups
no,
of women
no.
in
They
this
came out.
country in college enrollment. That is a fact.
They came out and they specifically targeted black women because they knew what the outcome would be. You
But in
did
No.
exactly
America,
what they knew you would do.
but you know, but here's the thing: in America, it is a black and white thing. You know, like Asians and other, groups of people. Even though they're here, but it's always been a black and white thing. That's why always the narrative is always white and black. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. But y'all can't. You're also taking credit for foreign black women as well. It's not just if we're talking about black American women. How many black American women are really surpassing black American men? Because when I look at the hood, I see nothing but black men and women congregating in large numbers. I see a lot of foreign black women that's opening up shop out here. I don't see black American women just doing it big like that. That's a lot of Africans. That's a lot of people, a lot of foreign blacks coming here who say we lazy.
I just read an article yesterday. A black American woman is the first black person, let alone female, to own her own brand of tequila. There are plenty of black women who are out here doing the damn thing, becoming business owners.
Yeah.
Actually, black women are the largest group of the black community who are owners of businesses.
Right.
See, that's why I question that now, because I'm looking at all the billionaires and the new billionaires. It seems like in the millionaires, like black men are the one who's rising at a very fast rate.
But that's sports and entertainment, though.
No, Robert Smith is not an entertainer.
That's one person.
Byron Allen, whatever his name, he's not an entertainer. These are not entertainers.
Byron Allen.
Yeah, or whatever his name is.
He used to be a basketball player, right?
No,
yes,
the one on the news, the weather station.
Yes, he's an entertainer then. If he's on the weather station, he's an entertainer then.
He's a businessman.
He's a celebrity.
Well, Robert Smith is not. Bob Johnson wasn't. Bob Johnson lost his billionaire status because of his divorce, but he was a billionaire because of his mind, what he did with his brain. He wasn't an entertainer.
Yeah.
Once again,
okay, so I'm just wondering, how are black women telling us that they're just so far ahead of us, light years ahead of us, and we're just out here in the ghetto?
Once again, it is not black women; it is the men that you should be competing with saying this.
Right, and they're saying fastest growing. And they're using terminology like fastest growing. So that means like maybe the next 10 years, so we will surpass these Bob Johnsons or whoever you're talking about and everything. So they're using, listen to what they're saying. When they, even like with Kevin Samuels, he always used the narrative, oh, black women are the most enrolled in college. We're not the college graduates, but the most enrolled still can lead to being the highest amount of people that's graduating from college. It's like all about terminology, the way that they phrase things too.
Okay, and for the other comment the young lady made, she said that black men say they love black women, but they really can't stand black women or whatever. Why we gotta lie? Why would I have to say it, but I don't mean it? Like, what's gonna be the consequence if I say, oh no, I really hate black women? So you think I gotta lie and say I like black women? If I don't like black women, I would just say it.
Okay,
so and then
if you type in, hold on a second, I want to go back to the original, the other argument about black women being the most educated. I just typed in Google, black women being the most educated, and immediately here's an article. Newsweek, ThoughtCo, CBS. These are all white media sources saying this. This is not black women.
I mean, let me Google this real quick. I'll Google women in education. When they say women in education, it's speaking of all women are surpassing their men.
Yeah, and that is true though. And when it comes to college people going to college. Even white
Here we
women
go
are
again.
surpassing white men.
Essence.com.
Yeah.
Essence.com. New study shows black women are amongst the most educated in the United States.
Did you hear what the word said? Amongst. They're not the most, but they are amongst the most educated.
Mm-hmm.
We are talking, listen, we are talking specifically black women. I don't want to hear no other group of women right now. We are talking about black
But that's
women.
what
That's
it
how the
is.
question
See,
starts.
what are you so angry about? That's what
I'm
it
not,
is.
sir, I'm not
Because you're
angry. I'm
gaslighting
asking.
at this
I'm not
point. At this
gaslighting.
point, we're looking at
Gaslighting.
actual articles that are not written by black women. We're looking at
Okay,
actual articles that are from mainstream white
if you
media
are amongst
saying
something,
black women
it says
are the
black
most
women are
educated.
amongst. You got to listen to the
No,
key
no, no.
words.
Hold on a second. That was one article. Then another article said we are the most educated. So once again, it's well, you can gaslight, you can do the play on
I'm
words, you
not
can try to
gaslighting.
twist it as much as you want to. But this is what mainstream media has been reporting for the last 15 years.
Okay, most educated group in America 2020. It said Asian Americans had the highest education attainment of any race, followed by whites who had a higher percentage of high school graduates, but a lower percentage of college
Type
graduates.
in the most educated group of women in the United States. You're being facetious right now.
No, I'm not. Okay, I see right here. It say black women are now America's most educated group. I don't have to lie to you.
Now,
I'm
who
honest.
wrote that? Who wrote that?
This is. Let me see who wrote this one.
So
It's by
Ronald Crump.
CBS, I think. Yes.
So Ronald, you're just basically saying that you don't like the fact that black women bring it up. That's your whole thing. You
No,
just don't want
I
us to
don't have
bring
a
it up.
problem with that. No, I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with how they go about doing it. You're doing it to denigrate and disrespect black men. And we know this. We're not going to play like that's not what the intent is. You're doing it to say, hey, I'm better than you. I done surpassed you. And really, when you look at it, you have all this education, but you have all this student debt. You have
Because a
all,
lot
you
of right, but the thing is that you got to understand a lot of black women don't come from rich families where they can actually your parents can pay for your college. So
I know
therefore you're
that.
gonna have, but even not even try to bring in another group of people, but even the J people, they have a lot of student loan debt too, because a lot of them go on to be neuroscientists and doctors or whatever, and they still settle with a lot of debt too. So it's not just black women,
Exactly.
it's people
Student
in
loan
general.
debt is not just a black woman thing. Anybody that goes to
Exactly.
school and don't have the money to pay for all of it, they take out loans. And there are such things as good debt, and student loan is actually listed amongst what is called good debt.
Good debt, a debt that you can't seem to get off your record until it's fully paid off. So I can find ways to get credit card debt off me. I can find ways to get
But
all
we're
other
not
type of
talking
debt,
about
but you're
credit card
not going
debt.
to
We're
get rid of
talking
that
about
student loan debt.
education. And education does pay. It's a debt that actually pays you back because you're able to get more and better job opportunities. You're
In
able to
STEM,
elevate. And that is
yes,
what black women have done. That's what Love Wisdom was talking about earlier when she said that when the welfare reform came and criminal crime bill dropped at the same time, you had black men going to jail. And by the time they got out to educated black women who elevated and leveled themselves up. And these black women were not only educated, but they were in careers and they came home to actual women in houses. So that
Right.
is good debt.
Yeah, and also I mean, not to always talk about what Kevin Samuel says, but like he'll make a statement and say, well, black women are getting degrees in like sociology, women's study, and gender studies, all this kind of stuff, right? But when you look at those types of degrees, if you're trying to work for corporate America don't even care what degree what you have, long as you have a degree and you can get the top paying job just by having a college degree. So these degrees are still relevant.
okay. Oh, I hear you, but those degrees don't pay. When you getting degrees in social studies and things of that nature, those degrees do not pay. We're talking
Mr.
about
Crump, do
STEM.
you have a degree?
I have an associate.
You have an associate? It
Yes,
seems
but
like,
I went into the
but
military.
what was it?
Mm.
You're calling. What is your point?
That was my point. I made my point about how black women seem to try to disrespect, and use their education to attack black men. You're saying
So do
black
you
men are,
think that
hold on,
when a
hold on.
person is
You
proud
say,
of their
hold on, let me
accomplishments,
finish.
they should stay quiet?
Can I finish?
Go ahead, Mr.
You
Crump.
said that black men are jealous of black women. No, black men are not jealous of black women. Black men are upset that black women have taken the bait by the
Okay.
dominant society who have been using that to attack black people and to divide and conquer. That's what black men are upset about.
Okay. So do you think that when a person has been doing something for years and it's something that they're proud of, that they should just shut up and just bury their head in the sand and just
See,
not
I never
continue?
said
No,
that.
no, I'm asking you. I'm asking you. Do
No,
you
I
think
think
that
I think
women
it's
should?
good to be proud. I think it's good to be proud of your education. I think it's good to especially when you're doing it and sharing it with your children and you're helping build your communities. But how often? I think it's good to be proud. Just a second. But how often are black women using their education to actually build up their communities? Since black men don't build their communities, what are black women doing with their education to build a community?
So, Mr. Crump, do you go on men's channels
Yes, I do.
and do you
Yes, I
champion
do.
when they're
Yes, I do.
bashing black women? And do you defend black women the way you defend Kevin Samuels?
And why is it that some?
I'm not. Whoa! I'm not defending Kevin Samuels. I'm not defending his logic. I already told you I don't agree with how aggressive he is. I don't agree with that. I'm defending the fact that y'all calling him gay. Black men
So,
get
do you
called
defend
gay.
black women
Anytime y'all
too?
disagree with black men, y'all call black men gay.
So,
Give us an
when do you go
example.
on?
Who else do we call gay? Who else do we call gay besides Kevin Samuels?
Who else? Y'all don't really have nobody else to attack right now. Kevin Samuels is the number one target.
But in the past, who did we attack and say they were gay?
Well, y'all used to call Tommy Sotomayor gay. Let's not pretend like y'all didn't call him gay. Now, I don't like Tommy at all. So,
That's a bad
but
example.
y'all used to call him gay.
Do you go on male channels and defend black women?
I have.
And
what do you
were
defend
they
us against?
receptive?
What would you defend us against? So what would they say you would defend us against?
I defend black women against the weave nonsense because it's stupid. Because women love to play with y'all hair, y'all love to play with y'all makeup. That's a woman thing. I don't see the point of even going back and forth and men having a problem with that. So that's what I defend black women against.
Why do you think they do that? Because whenever the manosphere guys, when they attack black women and they feel like we're the worst thing on the earth, they always talk about aesthetics. They always talk about weave, hair, nails. That's all they actually talk about us about. They don't talk about anything else that's relevant. It's always about our look.
Because black men who really do like black women prefer black women in their natural state.
No, they don't.
And
yes,
we don't
do.
believe that. We don't believe that.
That y'all don't believe that because you want to appeal to the men, to the certain group of men that do like those aesthetics. And most of them are not your B1 black men. Most black men prefer black women naturally.
When you say natural, you mean like afros? You mean like afro natural?
What did we do before weave was invented? Well, hold
on a second because hold on, Ronald Crump, because you got 3 black women on the panel. Why don't you ask us what our experience has been with black men with our natural hair?
Because y'all gonna tell me, look. First of all, I don't even want to go down that road because, like I said, that's not my place as a man to even concern myself with how y'all do your hair. I like it either way, me personally.
So, Mr. Crump, you don't want to hear
because
I
could tell you if you're interested because I've been through it all. I had the perm, I wear the weave and the wigs. I also have natural hair under this weave and wig that I wear. I can tell you all the different reactions that I have gotten from both black men and black women about my natural hair in particular. And then how people reacted to my hair. And then when people reacted to my hair when I wore it more straight or long. Now
but you're so concerned with what other black women think and
no. But
men.
This is in particular the what came from black men. Now, no matter how well groomed I had my natural hair, if it wasn't long, because when your hair is in its natural state, it's drawled up. So I wore my natural hair one time, just to see, how it would go because I wanted to be comfortable. And I remember black men in my family saying, you need to comb your hair. But my hair was combed.
Okay.
I remember black men saying, I need to style my hair. My hair was styled. It just wasn't straight. So then one day I decided to go ahead and straighten my hair. When I straightened my hair, then they go, it's about time you comb that nappy mess. This is
Yeah,
black
but
men.
however I respond to this, you're gonna accuse me of gaslighting. So I can't respond because no matter the answer I give you, it's gonna be wrong.
But Mr.
I can
Crump,
say, oh, well,
why do you
your
not want to
family
hear
is
the
just playing
feedback
with you
of women why do you not want to hear the feedback of all these women? Why do you not
because
want to
I
take
I know
advantage?
how me because I
But
know one thing
but
how
then
me and the
And
men.
I'm talking about,
saying,
I went natural at a time before it was popular. Okay. Before
Mhm.
there was so-called movement. Okay. These were people's actual genuine reactions. Now it's not cool for people to talk about natural hair because of the movement and because of the stigma that it now carries. But during the time that I went natural, and this was about maybe 10 or 12 years ago, I went natural before the movement was popular. And guys were up here comparing women to what is his name, Samuel L. Jackson. They were showing women with their natural hair and then showing them alongside Samuel L. Jackson and laughing at them. I
And then
remember
what about New York State and California actually had to pass a hair discrimination, what is it, law, so that these employers wouldn't discriminate on black women because of our hair when we were working in the workplaces and stuff. That's just happened in the last what, 2 years or so.
And there you
So a
have it.
lot of
That's
times,
who y'all had to appeal to. It wasn't black men. It was those people.
yeah,
Those
that's
people
part
had
of
an
it.
issue with
I
your hair.
agree. I agree with that because a lot of times, we want to work for the Bank of Americas and the Wells Fargo's and stuff. And in order to, get these jobs, you kind of have to kind of assimilate because, black men are not necessarily building, businesses for black women to work in so we can, rest in our natural hair or whatever. So.
Well, me personally, I don't have an issue with how y'all wear your hair. As long as it look good, I don't really care.
so Mr. Crump, you don't really care to hear from the women who are
No, I do
experiencing
care.
these.
I care. I mean, see what I'm saying? No matter how I
No,
answer, I'm gonna be wrong.
I'm just asking you a question.
Yes.
Okay, so we don't get any kind of play when we wear our regular hair. We're told that we look masculine, that we're not attractive, and if we just change our hair, poof, presto, all of a sudden you get all this attention
But who do you get the attention from?
from men.
Exactly. A lot of men that you want to get the attention from. It's not about black men. You could care less with black. Y'all don't already said it. You don't really care about what black men want. You want the attention of men in general.
Why would you not want to be a universal citizen?
I don't have a problem with that. But don't blame black men and say it's the black man who's at fault. It's not
the
us.
black men.
It's not black men
it's
that make
mostly
you.
the black men that are putting out a lot of the bad press on black women.
But look, all right. When it comes to that, when black men say, "Oh, she looked like Samuel Jackson," now we grew up in the black communities. How often do black people just rig on one another, just go off on each other? We clown each other about everything, whether right or wrong.
It's a disgusting part of our community that should not be considered part of the culture at all. We should
I agree, but that's just the way it is. It's messed up that way, but that's the way it is.
But that's our reality.
Right, that's not how it should be, though. We should be trying to get away from that.
Yeah, Mr. Crump, let me ask you a question. Do you think black men have, for the most part, given up on the black community? You think like the manosphere, like it's popular on the internet, but do you think that they are really serious and the people that they attract are really on this whole thing of like just giving up on the black community, just let it burn, let it fail? And for the most part, I don't feel like black women are into that mentality. We're more about trying to uplift the black community. That's why we're striving to build businesses and becoming part of the political arena more so than black men.
I don't think black men have given up on the community per se, but I think that black women have more so aligned themselves with those who do not have the best interests of black men in mind, such as the Democrats. Democrats do not like black men. The Democrats are the ones who are basically destroying the black community. But of course, I don't expect black women to agree with that.
But you
But
have
they're
just
the
as many black men who are Democrats.
yeah, but black men are gradually getting off the plantation. Black
But a
men are
lot of black
gradually
women
moving.
too. A lot of black women too, because I think
I'm
of
not a
myself.
Democrat.
Me
I'm
either,
not
because
a Democrat either.
yeah, me, I pride myself on being more of a moderate conservative. I didn't even vote for Joe Biden.
Well, I'm saying that the vast majority of black women do. You mentioned somebody mentioned Stacey Abram earlier.
Yeah, I
Well,
did.
she's definitely a Democrat.
Well, for
And
Yeah,
every Stacey Abrams, you have a Candace Owens.
yeah,
yeah.
but Candace Owens go too far.
What's too
Uh,
far? What's too far though?
her rhetoric is a little dangerous.
What about the guy that's on the internet? What's his name? Brandon Tatum and the other dark skinned guy. You know,
His
they're
rhetoric is a
very,
little too dangerous.
yeah. A lot of them
So
are.
I'm not gender biased. I'm not gonna sit here and say, oh, because Brandon is a black man, I'm gonna just ignore what he says, but I'm gonna come down hard on Candace. No, both of them to me go too far. So
Hmm.
no, I believe I lean more to the right. I'm more of an independent, but I lean to the right. I just cannot vote Democrat, and I do not believe that the Democrats are for black people. Never have been, and never will be.
I don't think neither parties, to be honest with you.
To be honest, I don't either. I go with whoever has got something on the table for me.
Well, that would probably be Republicans, believe it or not. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but Republicans got
Well,
more to
They
offer us
they
than
both.
I
Democrats.
do. I do, because when Trump was in office and he was offering the platinum deal, I voted for Trump because he had a
Me
lot of stuff
too.
on the table for black people.
Yeah, I voted
I
for Trump
supported
too.
Trump as well
Hmm.
because fellow New Yorker and I understand him.
But back to the question, do I believe black men have given up on the community? No. No. And the leader of the manosphere is pro-black. He's O'Shea Duke Jackson. Do you think O'Shea Duke Jackson is against black women?
Are you serious? I mean, Faith
Do
likes him,
you
I
really?
guess.
You really
Faith
believe
likes
Hold
him,
on a
but
second. I can answer that. I can answer that because this is my feeling. I don't know. I don't profess to know what O'Shea was in his head or whatever, but I have listened to a lot of his content, and I have done so unbiasedly. Now, I will say that O'Shea is pro-black and he loves black women. His
okay?
preference is black women, but at the same time, he's into the whole gender warring thing at the same time too.
yeah, and I
So
think he plays
there's
into
an
that.
element of that.
Yeah, I think he plays into that because of his looks, and he talks about his looks and talks about how unattractive he is. Now, I wouldn't get on no platform saying I'm ugly, and he does it all the time. So people play into that. So I think that he was somebody that grew up and didn't get attention from the women that he actually likes. That's why he's playing into the gender war thing. Just like a lot of these manosphere guys that don't show their faces and stuff, they think that they're not attractive, and that's why they come down on black women because we don't necessarily look at them like they are, I guess, the most attractive man. So
And see, myself, my preference is black men. So I see men like O'Shea, even Mr. Fantastic. I see men like this, and I don't see ugliness in their features. I see
me
these as
either.
black features.
Yeah, me too.
I
Like
see
Mr.
my
But guess
Yeah,
what?
phenotype in these men.
80 to 90% of black women would say O'Shea is ugly, and that's
yeah,
black women. And
yeah. I can
that's
agree.
what a lot of black men have had to deal with. And that's where, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's why a lot of black men react and behave the way that they do towards black women. It's not that they innately hate black women, it's that growing up throughout their entire lives, black women have made them feel useless and worthless. And now
Black
you're
women
telling
too,
me,
though.
and now you're telling me, and I'm not me specifically, but now you're saying that not only am I unattractive, but now you're more educated and you're better than me. So that's gonna send a very
Well,
negative
see,
message to a
here's
man.
the thing. Here's the thing, though. You have black men like O'Shea doesn't do it very much, even though I do think that he's a little colorist sometimes. But like I mentioned, Mr. Fantastic, he has a very, very black phenotype. the skin, the lips. He has super huge. They used to call him Fantasia. He has a strong black phenotype, but he's extremely colorist. He hates anything that looks like him. And so there's been a point in time where he has ostracized black women that look like him, called black women ugly that look like him, but at the same time, he does not want anyone to deem him and his features ugly. But he
Right.
turns around and does the same thing to black women that looks like him and have his same features and call them ugly. And he wants to ostracize them. It's a lopsided relationship.
Yeah, it is. It is. And then also, if you notice the biracial black male YouTubers and stuff, they speak out against black men because of them. Like when they were growing up, they were being taunted by black men because of their their biracialness or whatever. So it's like it's a weird thing that goes on in this space that I noticed.
Yeah, from here on out, I think what black people need to do, and when you see a black person that's phenotypically black talking down on black features that are identical to the ones that they have, you need to call that shit out. Because people like Fantastic that'll sit up there and talk about my nose, but you got these huge lips. We both have phenotypically black features, but you're over here talking about mine as if you don't see yours every day when you look in the mirror.
Right.
That,
Like
that
you
in
said,
and of itself is
yeah.
problematic and full of self-hatred.
So what do
Yeah.
you think about that, Mr. Crump? Do you think that is a good plan?
Yeah, actually, I do think that's a good plan.
We're getting somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know why y'all think black men are just opposed. I mean, at one point, black men and black women were working together. So what happened? And you can't just put it all on
they
black
still are
men. You
together.
cannot say it's
No.
black men.
No, black men and black women still work together. Through and through. And it's just this space right here, this little small space on the internet, this gender war space, is where they try to make it seem like it's not a thing where we're working together. Because, like I say, in real life, I see it all over the place, and even in some places on in the YouTube sphere, you see them working together. Like, look at the platform Earn Your Leisure. They work together all the time with black women and black men too. So you see it in certain sectors of YouTube, I guess social media, I would say. But for some reason, this gender war sector is just that they want to create this divide, and everybody want to outdo everybody on these talking points.
What I'm struggling to understand, back to the Kevin Samuels thing momentarily, I'm trying to understand how a man could be gay if he's trying to hook men and women up together.
He just said he want men to be with men. He just said that the other day on his platform. He said men should.
I don't know about that part. I don't know about
He
that.
did
But
say
let's
he
get back
said-
to the man and woman part where he's been trying to hook up black men and black women.
That's not his thing. It's just all a ploy. It's fake. He don't want black men and black women to be together.
He has 1 million followers and he only hooked up 5 couples. I don't have a channel at all, and I got 2 couples married.
Yeah, and he's not trying to keep the black family together. This man doesn't even like women, especially if you got a little bit of weight on you. If you got curves on you, he doesn't like you. He just did a show the other day telling black men that they need to get with other races of women. Did you see his latest Instagram post? He had that skinny white woman on there telling men to get that. Yeah.
From what I'm understanding is that he said it because black women are just not willing to get on board with black men. And he's basically saying that we may have to just go ahead and give up and just go ahead and go somewhere else.
Can I ask a question?
Where can I ask information from?
I need to ask a question to Ronald.
I know it's like that where I'm from. A lot of black women around here, they're not on black men's program.
Okay, that's what I want to ask Ronald. What is the program that black men want black women to get on?
I mean, just when I say program, just be more agreeable, be more pleasant to be with, pleasant to talk to. I shouldn't have to walk into a store and you roll your eyes at me and you don't even know my name. You don't even know where I'm from or what I believe in. Things like that. I shouldn't have to be in line waiting to get checked out and you check the white man out in front of me and you so polite and respectful to him. And then as soon as I get up, you don't even say, hello, how you doing, sir? Or anything. You polite to him, but you rude to me.
Is that
Yes, it's
anecdotal?
anecdotal, but it's not really anecdotal if we all saying that all the black men online are saying we are experiencing these things. We're dealing with black women who are just rude and mistreating us for no reason. They don't even know us, don't even know our
Okay,
names, and they just
well, hold
rude.
on a second because I want to ask these questions. You said you want us to be more agreeable. What do you
Mhm.
want us to be agreeable for?
I mean, just not be combative. I mean, it's a number of things. I mean, the list would be I don't have all day to just really list it all out. Black women are just not agreeable with black men. Come on now, let's just be honest. Y'all know
Because
this.
I'm just trying to get you to understand. You haven't given us a program that we should be willing to get on. You're telling us you want us to be agreeable. I'm asking you agreeable to what? You're not really being specific. You just want us to be I guess basically open and agreeable to every black man, and that's not
No,
possible.
no, I
Let
didn't
me
say
tell
that.
you. Let me tell you something. The day that you all, especially in a lot of these neighborhoods where there's a high volume of black people, there's an element of bad in every place. I understand that, but I'm telling you, in troves, I've seen black men be disagreeable to black women for no reason whatsoever. I've seen black men being mean to black women for no reason whatsoever. And you don't see black women complaining about you being more agreeable and nicer. You don't see us doing that.
You know why? Because most black men are not that way towards black women. You may see it here and there, but I could tell you that a very large percentage of black women are this way towards black men. So it's a
No,
difference.
I don't agree with that. I
It's a
don't agree with
different
that.
dynamic.
No, I don't agree with that because I think for the most part, black women love black men. You know, like Cynthia G loves to say this, and it's true. Black women worship black men. They
Well,
just do through and through.
to that point,
We don't have
black
any.
women like black. Not I hate to cut you off, but black women like certain black men. There's a huge difference. Y'all love to say black women are loyal to black men. Black women are loyal to maybe 25% of black men. Those that
Let me
black
say,
women really find attractive.
black women. Let me tell you something about black women. Black women, when it comes to dating, black women date the type of black men that are like from the Steve Urkel all the way to the Suge Knights and
Oh
everything in
no,
between.
come on. No,
Yes, they
Steve Urkel,
do.
if Steve Urkel was a real
Steve Urkel
character,
gets
he wouldn't
played.
get no play.
Steve Urkel would get played in his demographic of black women. That's in his league. Like, you know, you have these anime kind of guys that are into anime, but they try to make it seem like black women don't like them. But there's a lot of black women that are in anime also. Won't they just date each other? Don't try to date the Instagram chick. You know, stay in your lane, stay in your lead.
I promise you, black women are not dating men like that. That
Steve
is just
Urkel gets
All
played. I'm
right.
sorry, he does.
I do have a new guest on the panel. He
mhm.
wasn't up here before, but I want to go ahead and welcome Mr. Kenneth Wright. And once again, we can have the discussion and we can be, respectful towards one another. So if you agree or disagree, we can talk, but as long as we're respectful. So please welcome Kenneth Wright to the stream. Welcome, Kenneth Wright. What did you want to say? Hello, Kenneth. Are you there?
His mic
Okay,
might be
Kenneth.
muted.
No, I get his mic is not muted. Well, Kenneth, I'm going to put you down here, and you can come back, I guess, when you get your stuff together. But what I'm trying to say, Mr. Crump, is I don't want to, jump all over you or anything. You are the only man up here. But I do want to say this. I have been in situations where I've seen black men, like just even in a professional setting. Like I was going to work one time and all the black men are standing outside the job. They're out there smoking, on their break or whatever. And every woman that walk past, they want to catcall and disrespect her. That is not friendly at all to a woman when you
I
have
agree.
men doing stuff like this. And I've experienced it myself. 15 years old, walking to school, older black men in their cars following me, catcalling me, talking about my body, talking all up under my clothes. That's not friendly.
But those are criminals.
But what I'm saying is these are the men in the
Those are
community.
criminals.
Okay,
Those
you're
are not
talking about,
dumb.
wait a minute, hold on a second. But when you
Huh?
talk about the women in the community being unfriendly, did anybody sit up here talking about those are women, those are criminals? No. These are people in the community
No, but
doing it.
okay, this is what I mean. Criminals have no boundaries. So criminals
How
will
do you
go
know what
after.
their criminal background is?
No, if you're hollering at a 15-year-old, you're a criminal. He may not have been caught, but he's a criminal. The difference is that black women will see a man that she's not attracted to, or for whatever reason he doesn't dress nice enough or whatever. She think he doesn't have enough money, and she will then make a judgment call, a negative judgment call, and she would roll her eyes at him or she would be rude to it. That's what I mean. Those guys are just criminals.
Well, don't you think that the reason why a black woman would be rolling her eyes at a black man and having this attitude is because she's rolled up on a lot of criminals, as you call them, in the community? A lot of criminals out there, then, if that's the case.
Maybe, I mean, we do have 33% of black men who are criminals. I mean, that's just a reality. There's nothing I can do to change that. That is a fact. But you don't do that to people.
Then what about the young men that are on the bus? And this happened to me for real in Chicago. We was riding Chicago Transit, and there were a bunch of kids in high school. I was in high school at the time. We were all high school kids, and these boys were sitting up there heckling all the dark-skinned girls, calling them ugly just for no reason, being mean and just ornery towards these girls and the women too, because there were grown women that got on the bus too, that they were also doing this too. Couldn't ride the bus in peace. But we supposed to smile.
No, I didn't say you're supposed to smile. But if this is what I say. If a man walks into a store and you're working there, first of all, you're supposed to be polite to everyone that walks through that door because you're an employee. But if I walk through the door and I'm not giving you no unpleasant vibes, I'm not, undressing you with my eyes, or I don't have a dangerous disposition about myself, why would you roll your eyes at me? And this happened many times. And then it'll be a white woman or a Hispanic woman will be nice to me. So I know it's not something I'm doing wrong. It's not me. Now, if other women were also looking at me like that, then I would say, man, what am I doing? Am I sagging my pants? Do I look like a criminal? Do I look like this? Then I would have to do some self, check myself. But if the only person who ever looks at me crazy throughout my day are black women, and all the other women are nice to me, even the ones who don't even find me attractive, they still nice and pleasant to me, then I have to start wondering, well, man, why is the black woman acting like this? You can't tell me it's just because she had a bad experience with criminals, because you're still supposed to treat everybody as individuals. Even though I've had all these bad experiences with black women, I still go into any establishment or any black woman that I cross, and I still treat her as an individual. I do not treat her as the black woman who may have rolled her eyes at me down the street. So why can't black women do that to black men?
Do you know how many black women try to be cordial to men, and they follow them home and they're inappropriate and they're touching them and groping them and they get the wrong impression?
Girls, please speak on it.
What about the girl whose eye was eaten out? The guy tried to eat her eye out. She minded her business. She came home from work. She wanted to get some wine. She was going to sit at home, pick up her baby. And those guys surrounded her and attacked her. She just wanted to go home. You really, I mean, I appreciate that you're at least here and not fighting us, but you have the benefit of all these women trying to explain to you what our experiences are.
And I'm listening.
We get harassed incessantly. Then when we're not interested and we just want to go from point A to point B, then they say, fuck you, bitch, you're ugly anyway. And they start talking about everything. We're shell shocked. We're suffering from PTSD. we're terrified. We don't want to look too nice because then we'll have people following us around and touching us. It's not easy.
Remember AP from the Bronx, remember that that one man that ended up following the woman home, and she just slammed her door just in time before he tried to run in on her. Remember that?
Faith, that lady lived a mile from me and the same thing happened to me. The same thing happened to me.
When I look at that guy, you can tell that type of guy. You can kind of
Criminals
see.
don't wear t-shirts that says I'm a good guy and I'm a criminal.
I
The same
understand
thing
that.
happened to me. I was coming home from work and I pulled out my keys in the Bronx, and the guy started pulling out his keys. And I'm thinking to myself, I don't recognize this guy. And so I opened up the door real fast, like how that woman did. And I closed the door behind my body. I force closed it. Then I had another door. I force closed it. Then when I went upstairs, I stood by the door and nobody opened up the door. The guy was trying to fake me out and he was trying to pretend that he lived in the same building I live in. We're not making this up. If you want to be helpful, Mr. Crump, when you hear bad behavior from your fellow, counterparts, you can tell them, hey man, you're making it bad for everybody. Because you're making it bad for everybody. You're making it bad for me when I want to say hello to a sister. She doesn't know if I'm one of the good guys or the bad guys.
I would love to be able to just simply do that. In a perfect world, we would love to be able to do that. But criminals could care less what I have to say, or that I'm making that he's making it bad for me. He could care less. He could care less if he's making it bad for me with the police or whoever I may encounter. You don't care about that.
You have to check your brothers, because you're exactly right. They're making it bad for you because of their behavior, and because there are so many of them that are able to get away with it unchecked by other men. Yeah, those men are starting to represent you, and they make it bad for you. But let me go ahead and welcome Chaos Rain back onto the stream. He's been waiting down there patiently to speak. What's up, Chaos Rain?
Hey, I thought we were supposed to be talking about this Caucasoid and this Cyn G, man. What's all this I'm hearing now, man? We just diverse all the way off the topic for some reason. Some ladies said it's not this white boy. Some dudes laughing. I say, it is what it is. And she already proved what she has claimed throughout the years, and this has been evident. My thing is, since people are talking about this, I wonder how the energy would have been different if this was another male content creator and he stumbled across a non-black woman and she gives her disclaimer about this content creator. I wonder if we would still have the same energy. That's my biggest question I should ask the ladies, besides the man that's up here. Now I'm sitting there reflecting. So can I answer this question? If you want me to rephrase it.
Yes.
Well, yeah. Go ahead, AP.
No, can we rephrase it, because I was kind of getting mixed up. Sorry.
Okay, I will say this. If this was another concrete opposite from Miss G as a man, and he took on a person through same Biba comment or email, and he goes on a date with said non-black woman, and she comes and does this little 15 or 60-minute video talk about the so-called well-known content creator in a way from the same things that she lay out is in the reverse. How much the energy?
So basically, let me get this right. So say, for instance, this was Kevin Samuels, and
Right,
there was this trailer trash looking white woman that said that he took her out on a date, and she described the worst date ever and described him in the worst light. Would we believe that Kevin Samuels took out this trailer trash Becky type?
There you go, Faith. Thank you. See, you're the more brightest one of it. That's how I know why we come to the factor, because you know the facts.
Okay, if a bum came on a broadcast and said that they took Faith out, I would be like, I don't think so.
No, you didn't get the question.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just going by what I see, and it depends. It's an individual decision. If it, based on I know that Cynthia G makes good money. I know that she likes going to nice places, and I know that she she makes good money. She likes going to nice places, and Cynthia G does have an affinity for thin, attractive black men. Now, she has said that sometimes she lets white men buy her things or take her out, but this guy, you know,
You're not
I
answering the question, AP.
okay, maybe I'm not understanding it.
Reverse. See, I wish I was clear as for you. Thank you,
Okay,
Faith.
well let me ask. Okay, let me answer because see, if this was some hood booger or some trailer trash Becky that was out of shape, claiming that Kevin Samuels took her out on a date, I would say she was lying. I
Me
don't
too.
think that
Okay,
Kevin
that's you,
Samuels is
Faith.
taking her
Okay,
out.
good. Now, do you follow AP?
Yeah, if
Okay, now,
yeah,
that's what we're trying to get
if
at. That's what we get
if
because
the
on you only.
situation was like how Faith said, I wouldn't believe him because I think that Kevin Samuels is partial to boy like stick figure type women. So I wouldn't believe her.
Right.
Okay, very good, very good. So the reason why I present this, only reason why I present this particular question, cause I had to sit to have a revelation. Say, we gotta make sure this is no bias, so it's even on all points, so that way when we deal with these situations, which I don't talk about on my channel, but I'll entertain for today, that I don't make sure it's not biased. At times when I was up here first, Fate, I gave my perspective, and I'm stick to it for now. So that's why.
So what exactly? Where do you stand on the whole Cynthia G thing with this
Well,
guy?
right now, this dude is getting clout, and I'm gonna stay firm, rather if he's real or not. The most dangerous thing any person could do at this point, since this is media, is you don't let the fire spread. Now we're gonna know the dude's gonna spread this because obviously, anytime somebody comes out and reveal anything on your favorite content creator, as content creators, we're gonna eat it up fast, like this, like this, like this. But then again, we step back and say, hold on, let me wait and see what grows first. See if this is just some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And if you're a person that does content, you don't want to give no fuel to fire. You just let everybody eat it up. And then if they hit you, I say, well, I don't know nothing about that. You get me? Because really, unless the guy has receipts, like somebody posted in the comment section of his video, then it's gonna put on him, say, now you go out to prove something, buddy. I'm saying we get a laugh, and we might say this might be serious, but now can you show some receipts? Because now I'm not following. And now it puts him to square. Well, and I say, well, looks like it was something dead from the start.
Well, that's what we did. I mean, I think I was very fair in my assessment.
You're fair in the answer that I laid out, that you rephrased the question. So yes, you're fair. I respect that.
Yeah, because that's the reason why I put the question out there. Did she date this guy? Because I put it out there immediately. I don't think she would date that guy. I don't think that that's her type.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
So that's the reason why the conversation evolved over to other things, because pretty much that's done. I don't think anybody buys what this guy is saying.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So now to Mr. Rondo, because I know a lot of people complain about what the women are vibing because of this system. I'll tell you, Rondo, there's nothing a man could do. I'm saying you gotta keep operating in this environment as is, brother. You get me? Women are gonna do what they're gonna do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you can have the dialogue all the way. There's gonna be gaslighting, there's gonna be fairness, it's gonna be whatever you want to call it. Same with women. But at the end of the day, you gotta move as a man regardless. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is content, and unless there's some resolution where two sides are gonna come to the table with something, it's always gonna be back and forth. I mean, I could sit there and say, I carry my hair like this because of this. I say, okay, but I don't like this. You don't keep fighting, just move on. I'm saying if they have to assimilate, you gotta respect that. You know what I'm saying? My God, who man you deal with? You get me? All knows if that's not what you don't like, you just try to limit being around women that potentially don't want to carry what we call said natural hair. You know what I'm saying? It's that simple, And after a while, if the dudes, like I said, if they really serious and they move in that chords, maybe the women might change up. And I say might. They don't have to, but if it really the end game is black man, black woman, I'm saying one or the other has to do something to get the different outcomes. You get me? They don't want to hear what they say. They want to see it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, Faye, you had your natural hair for maybe a year or so, and the only reason why you had to go back to the creamy crack and straighten that bad boy is because of the backlash. You get me? And women don't want to deal with no trauma and backlash. They want to.
No, my hair is still natural.
Yeah. But you, like I said, when you had it like in a whether a fro, whatever case you say earlier, because I'm listening to the conversation, that you had to, deal with this environment you are. You know what I'm saying? That way you don't hear the talk. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't want to hear anybody talk about your hair. Say, are you gonna straighten your hair? Are you gonna comb your hair? Oh, all that's nonsense. I say, what you worry about? Wait, I'm here. What's up? You get me? You're not gonna talk to me because of how my hair kept. I mean, that's where people are at, especially certain men, and we could say certain women, because Faith, women talk about other women's hair. You know what I'm saying? If we even care a certain way, they go and say some shit. They'll smile face, but back behind clothes and say, look at Faith. She got that fucking wig. What the fuck is that she got here? Why she have the hair afro? She better straighten that fucking hair. That nappy fucking hair. I hate that fucking look. You get me? That's how it works. That's how our community is. Our community is fucked up. It is what it is. So, yeah.
I agree.
And now, Faith, let you know, this is 3 hours and 30 minutes. I don't know how long you're going to keep going. You know what I'm saying?
But actually, I was just getting to that. I was getting ready to go ahead and wrap things up because, hell, I'm getting tired and I got an appointment later on. So I want to go ahead and get the final thoughts from everybody. Who would like to go first?
I'd like to go ahead and go first. All I wanted to say was that, black men definitely don't hate black women and don't want to do anything to hurt black women. We just want to come to a common ground and try to get things worked out. I just felt like, just getting on the panel, wanted to talk to you. Been listening to your show, so I just like hearing you and, keep doing your thing.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming, and please do come again. I appreciate your insights.
Absolutely.
All right. Who's next?
Well, it's always a pleasure, Faith, and I'm glad that you shared your day with us. And, it was enjoyable and educational. And have a good one.
All right. The AP from the Bronx. I appreciate you as well. And as always, you're always welcome up here. Please do come again, sis.
Okay, great deal.
All right. Last but not least, we have
hold on.
Chaos.
Let me see if I type something. Yeah, like I said, I was putting the chat. Oh, in the back chat. Check the back chat. Thank you, Faith. This is very interesting. Something that I might continue the conversation maybe tonight. We shall see. I'll see if my mood presents me if I want to invest more time in this. But like always.
All right. Definitely. And once again, Chaos always comes up here and contributes to the show. He always has an interesting perspective. So I always love, having him up here on the panel. And once again, brother, you're always welcome. Please do come again. All right. So oh shoot. I'm gonna put myself up here. Here we go. Just me, myself, and I, guys. All right. So I always like to end the same way I start, and that is, hey, how you doing, guys? All right. So we started off the topic with talking about people having unrealistic expectations in the space. That was one of the topics that I brought up today. We didn't really want to delve into it, but at the end of the day, guys, as content creators, and I'm talking to content creators, it's really up to you whether or not you want to give a heads up to somebody that you're getting ready to critique. There is definitely a difference between a critique and a hit piece. Faith does not do hit pieces on my channel, but I will critique and I will be very how can I say, I will be respectful even in my critiques of others. I'm not a disrespectful person in general. So, I'm more of a lover, not a fighter type, and I try to stay out of a lot of controversy. So you don't see me doing a lot of panels where people are arguing and fighting. That's just not my thing. Secondly, with the whole Cynthia G thing, you guys saw the video, you saw the shenanigans, Water Sniper's down there. And I want to say shout out to Water Sniper because I did get that video off of his channel. And he basically said he posted it, just to have a few laughs at Cynthia G's expense. And he also knows that this guy is lying and that he can't possibly be serious. So, I saw O'Shea's critique of it. I didn't want anybody to take that serious either, because O'Shea is also an entertainer. So he's always entertainment first. So how people take things and they like to run with it. And I'm the person that's going to, take it, point out that this is exactly what it is. And it's laughter and satire, and definitely not something that anybody should be taken seriously. Cynthia G is not crazy enough to go out with a white guy of that caliber anyway. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yes, exactly. Good work, Water Sniper. and Water Sniper does a great job of the videos that he puts on his channel. Please do subscribe to Water Sniper. He has a lot of great content. And yeah, O'Shea is funny, Metadol. He is. I laugh at him a lot too. I like O'Shea's content, his celebrity junk and his what do he call it? Dusty news. This stuff is hilarious. Like I said, it's for entertainment purposes. But like I said, there are people that will take something meant for entertainment purposes and they will run with it as if it is the real deal. And in this space, Black people do not know how to separate entertainment from reality. So what that guy was doing was pure entertainment, even though it wasn't very funny. And I thought I would highlight that here and point out, some things that I happen to know just from being a Cynthia G watcher, because I do watch a lot of her content and I enjoy a lot of the content. Like I said, a lot of the things that she have said has been very educational and it have been beneficial to Black women. There are some things that I don't agree with. As you all know, I don't agree with the whole not having the Black baby boy, male baby thing. But that's just my personal opinion, and I'm entitled to mine opinion, and Cynthia's entitled to hers. But this guy is definitely not anybody that Cynthia G would look at twice, let alone go on a date with. And anybody who believed that video for 1 second, shame on you. Shame on you. If you don't know your content creators by now, you will never know us at all. But with that said, this was a great conversation. It went longer than I really expected it to. But when the conversation is getting good, what I like to do is I like to let people rock out. I really like to let people enjoy, talking and build on something and possibly even come to a solution if you can. But if you can't, we agree to disagree and walk away. That's what grown men and women do. But I don't want to hold anybody or anything like that because like I said, there's a lot of things that I need to do. I have a lot of errands to run today, and I got to get to the business of making money because I'm not making a lot of money with this YouTube stuff. So I have to go and make my own money. But at the same time, I'll try to come back with more bomb ass content, and if you guys like what I do, please share to your social media streams so that I can stay on top. And with that said, peace. I'm out.